1 month of intense PUBG Mobile action, and today, amongst 1,000 teams, only one is gonna be crowned as the champion. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 3 of the Grand Finals of PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, the Bangladesh edition. My name is Fixes, alongside me is Shadow, and it's been quite a journey so far, but today is a storyline that has already built up since yesterday, where we see Gremlin Storm. They've been on a good roll, they've been on a good run, and those back-to-back hat-trick chicken dinners have certainly helped the cause in getting to the 4th spot. Now the journey entirely depends on those 6 games that they have in hand. What do you think? Can they make it to the top?
Well, they have certainly made it to top 4 coming from the second page of the leaderboard. I think they can make it to the top 2 or maybe the top position also, because point difference is, I believe it's 26 points something around.
Yeah.
That's the point difference, and one bad game from the top teams and one good game from Gremlin Storm. Maybe we can see them at the top position.
Or else they can just be consistent throughout, you know, get at least 10-12 points every single game, and by the last game we might see them toppling over teams. And for Venom Legends and A1 Esports 1952, it's very less likely to happen that they would throw a game.
Yeah.
Yesterday, however, we saw A1 Esports not playing in a whole game, but that was the same game where Venom Legends completely messed it up. So the points, the disparity was not too much. But today, they are completely leveled up. They ended the day at, I believe, 149 points?
Yes.
Yes. So 149 points was what they earned for themselves. But you know, what they are going to earn is a lot more if they win. So ladies and gentlemen, let's take a look at what's on the line. The moolah that we are talking about, that's 17 lakhs Bangladeshi taka.
Well, 17 lakhs Bangladeshi taka is a huge prize pool, but what the teams will be competing for will be the first place that gets 6 lakh Bangladeshi taka, second place gets 2 lakh 50,000, third place gets 1 lakh 50,000 BDT, and fourth place gets 1 lakh 25,000 Bangladeshi taka, fifth place gets 1 lakh 10,000 Bangladeshi taka, sixth gets 1 lakh, seventh gets 85,000.
Yeah, certainly, and it just reduces down. The entire prize pool is completely broken, and that is what you get on your screens. And you should certainly would be wishing that you did not place anywhere up until the 12th position, because after that, I mean, it does not really matter. Imagine grinding for so many months and then getting just a mere amount of money. That's not where you want to be. You want to be in the top 3. You want to get a huge chunk of that prize pool. And how do you do that? You need to earn points for yourself. You need to earn a lot of points. And let's take a look at the point structure and see how it has been divided.
Well, we have been having a pretty standard point structure. The first place gets 15 points, second place gets 12 points, third gets 10 points, fourth gets 8 points, and it keeps on reducing until 13th and 16th position. You get nothing, no participation points at all.
Nothing is the word over here. And for every kill, of course, you get that 1 point. But imagine, Shadow, 8 to 12th, you're just getting that 1 point. So half of the lobby, they might just end at least with 1. They might end with 1 point or nada. They might get 0. So that's the case over here. So how do you cover that? You need to get a lot of kills. If you have good number of kills, it does not matter how many points you have gotten out of the positions. But yeah, it will certainly help your cause in that certain case. And today, since 6 lakh Bangladeshi taka is what's on the line for the champion, everyone will be rooting for it. But now let's take a look at the storyline that has built up the leaderboard and see how things have gotten really interesting over there. Venom Legends and A1 Esports tied up for the first place with 149 points. Now TRZ Esports, they beat the dark horse. The way they've been performing, they've been really consistent, at least in terms of position points. And you know, kind of in a tandem with Venom Legends, even with Gremlin Storm, despite the fact that they've just got 1 chicken dinner. Now with their counterparts, they've gotten 3. So really shows how consistent TRZ is.
Well, they have been pretty consistent throughout the tournament. And one more team, if we talk about the points, look at the kill points of the team KSX. They have got 55 points. That's, I believe, third highest kill points, but they are at the 6th position. The thing they are lacking is the position points. So everything is going to matter. The placement points and the kill points. Make sure if you are having good amount of kills, you end up having good placement points also. I believe if KSX gets a chicken dinner today, they might find themselves toppling over GSM, maybe, or at least Eccentric Infinity. But another team which has gotten a chicken dinner and showed signs of aggression was SLX Alpha. 2 good games, but after that, they are again falling down. They are at the bottom.
Of course, you know, they did shine really bright in those 2 games, and it was a back-to-back game, even got themselves a chicken. But look at them, you know, despite having that chicken dinner, now they are positioned at the 14th place. So really shows how miserable the performance has been in this one around. But yeah, yesterday I really saw some promising plays coming out from the players of KS Axe. They were really consistent, and yesterday they picked up the speed. They picked up, you know, they raised the gear up to the 6th number, and they've been not looking behind since then. But let's take a look at the schedule and see which are those final 6 games and where they are going to be played at. So we start off with Erangel, and of course, like every single tournament, we are also going to end things in Erangel. But in between that, we have another Miramar, followed by another Erangel. Then we have Sanhok. Then we venture into the frozen tundras of Vikendi. And of course, like I mentioned, we'll be closing things in Erangel itself. So yeah, Erangel is the map that these teams have to be really careful about, because see, this is a bread and butter map of PUBG Mobile. Every single player that has opened this game has played at least 100 games of Erangel. They're so well versed with it. But there is also something that you guys can win. The giveaway is what I'm talking about over here. And what's on the line? You have 8 Duras gift cards. And also with that, you win 1 iPhone 12. You have a chance at that. How do you do that though? You have to subscribe to the channel of PUBG Mobile Bangladesh. You have to like the stream, of course. And in the chat section, what you have to do is just spam hashtag PUBG Mobile, hashtag PMCC, along with your in-game character ID, and you know where to find that. You're the clever bunch. And of course, your in-game, I just hope you do not have really flashy characters which you can't put over there. And if you do have that, just change it. As simple as that.
Yeah, just change the in-game name and just spam in the chat, and maybe you can get yourself an iPhone 12.
Yes, an iPhone, a brand new iPhone 12 perhaps. But now what you have to do is just wait, as we are going to head into the game directly, as game number 1 is live in front of our screens with the flight path trajectory going all the way down south from prison towards Susnovka military base.
Well, it is definitely a southern side of plane path, and we know a few of the teams like dropping in towards military base area. In fact, the team GSM, if we talk about this team, they like dropping in towards Georgopol city area. But yesterday we saw them changing their drop location and going towards Novoripnoy. Let's see if they will be doing the same thing or not. But yes, definitely the teams who like dropping towards Zerkio. In Siverny also, we have seen teams like dropping in Siverny. They might have to make use of those vehicles, and the longer the rotation is, the more the time they are making themselves vulnerable, and maybe they can get shot out also.
Yeah, and we've seen that happen on multiple occasions. Like you mentioned, Gremlin Storm, they have to find themselves a new drop location or else a vehicle that they can use it to their advantage. So that is definitely going to help the case over here. Team SLX already dropping off at Milta Power. We have the players of KS Axe dropping at Milta. So this is a team in the final game was completely firing on all cylinders with the way they had performed. You know, Meraz, FT and his entire team, they were completely impressive. Now Team IPGX find themselves in Novoripnoy. Team Cyko heading down towards the Susnovka military base, but look at the circle. The circle goes towards Katka and Quarry somewhere down the line. And I believe we can get to see another Quarry circle this time.
Well, I'm happy as long as it's not a military-based circle. Quarry circle I can work with, because teams, if we talk about also this, I believe 2 or 3 times they have seen a military-based zone. So this is something that teams would be not expecting, and this is going to be something different also. So let's see which of the teams are going to be having an advantage. GSM is still struggling with their drop location. Let's see if they will be going towards Georgopol city area, because right now they are in the Gatka region. TRZ again going towards their normal drop. That is going to be Primos. In fact, IPG, if we talk about this team and all the teams who have dropped in towards the eastern side of the map, they will have to make some quick rotations. Venom Nightwing, they are pretty comfortable in the Pochinki area. No one is there to contest them. They can loot around the area and just have a good loot.
Yeah, of course. Now they've been uncontested, and no one dares even drop nearby them because they know how dominating the squad has been. Of course, being on the top of the leaderboards, they're looking really confident. They want the money today, and of course, with the pride that comes along with it, the respect, the bragging rights, everything is on the line. But of course, at the end of the day, it's about money. They are gonna walk out 6 lakh Bangladeshi taka richer if they just hold on to the first spot. And we have seen in the final day the dramas that unfold in front of us. They kind of make sure that you get to see something else. And you know, we haven't even brushed upon the fact that since today is the last day, we might anticipate some targeting.
Well, I was just about to say that I wanted someone to drop into the drop location of Venom Legends or maybe of even Esports, because the teams which are at the bottom, especially teams like SLX Alpha and EPSILON Esports also, these are the two teams which have shown signs of aggression and how capable they are with their gunfights. So they can, I believe, take a head-on-head fight with the top teams. I believe SLX Alpha also once took down Venom Legends, so I wanted to see that, but maybe let's see in the later stages of the match. In the last matches, we might be able to see that. But GSM still not able to reach their drop location towards Georgia Pool.
Yeah, and now this is really not the way they would have wanted to start off, because we already can see after 40 seconds almost the circle will start closing in, and they've not started with the loot, just having the basic drop weapons. That's just about it. Now just venturing into Georgia Pool, they have enough time to loot over there, but that will spell trouble, because why? Number one point is, now while they have to rotate, already teams will be over there. Now they have to fight their way in. Now what they could have really done is take the center and just loot it around Gatka, because no one was going there, for Christ's sake. But M4 Esports, this is another team that has not been having the best of the tournaments. But then again, they're also kind of a winner because they qualified for the final. And considering the fact that this was the first tournament, I think they would be happy about it.
Well, they would be pretty happy. In fact, they are trying to do something. They started off good. If we talk about day one, it wasn't that bad. But day two, they started falling down, and that's when they are at the bottom. But right now, one of the team which impressed in few of the games is going to the turf of Team EXENTRIC Infinity. And Victor is definitely spotted on one of the players. Can he take him down? But no, he gets taken down. And with that, confirmation will also come. Marcos has already eliminated him and gets the first blood. And for Esports, heading up to a good start. But the team which is not having a good start is going to be EXENTRIC Infinity, who have lost one of their player, and now another mistake might be happening because Grootsir is in the Shuvosir is in the wrong area. He might be heading towards M4 Esports Plus, but I believe he has decided that since his player is gone, he can't do anything about it. Just move on with their loot.
Yeah, not the kind of a start that EXENTRIC would have wanted for themselves. Already losing out on Diptoj, who does the majority of the job for this team. And considering that they are really doing good in the leaderboards and had a chance this time to pick themselves back up, well, it's going to be way tougher than it would have been usually. But as we take a look at Isnaya Polyana, we have the players of Gremlin. In fact, my apologies over there. This is GR ELECTRIFY. We have the players just looting around. So Crayon San, he is a player that has been, spreading havoc throughout the lobby. But now we have a fight. Squeeze it, charging in the wall. In fact, onto with Spidey. The poor man had to tingle his Spidey senses, but could not do much. But now, M4 Esports, they are on a prowl because they want the blood of the players who have taken him, his dear comrade, down. And now, Immortals. Well, they got that one kill, and they're just getting the hell out of here.
Well, they has to get out of here because it's an open field area. They might be getting shots from any direction, and I don't believe they have got sufficient loot also to take a 4v4 fight. So this is going to be a wise move to just move on, get into a safe position, and I believe M4 Esports will also be doing the same thing because they have already lost one of their players. They definitely spotted out some smoke in that particular open field area, but that is not going to be the way where they will be heading for the fight. They will go for the loot. Well, this is the time when you reap rewards. You kill an enemy, just loot the crate and get all the rewards.
Looting a drop without, in fact, looting a crate without a smoke. They've got some cojones. I, of course, have to give them that. But imagine some team just hovering around and they spot two little pesky snakes just trying to loot. And they just wipe them out of their existence, free them from the misery of this cruel world. And not the kind of a gameplay or not the kind of a start M4 would really want. In fact, looting out on Spidey and looting his own teammate. You know, that's not the way we would have wanted to see things happen.
Well, the teammate is gone. Let's just have their loot and carry on with the game. But if we talk about this team, KSAXE, they are quite good with their gun games. They are relying on the kill points. They just need to focus on the placement points also. If they do that, maybe they can topple over the top teams. But on the other hand, another fight is breaking out between the players of Team SLX Alpha and A1 Esports. A1 Esports definitely having the height advantage. And it's just one player agent of Team SLX Alpha holding on to that compound. But I can see his teammates also coming up, joining in to provide him the perfect backup that he needs right now. And let's see, A1 Esports, they might want an initial opening, an initial knock. After that, the way this team is playing, the aggression they have, we can see them directly rushing into the compound.
Yeah, we certainly can. But you know what I'm really expecting out of A1 Esports 1952 is that they kind of try to spread around a bit, because all their players are kind of confined to just one angle. Now, if they get multiple angles, now if some player gets spotted out, a bit of a pixel also being visible, they can get the knock. And they've already finished one player. All they need is just one more knock, and they can directly ram in and take that fight, and of course take the compound. Now, this comes down to what A1 Esports really want from here. Do they want the high ground advantage, or do they want the control over that compound? Because they're making a lot of noise, and they need some. They kind of need some conviction over there. They need some closure. They need to get in, get the fight on. But we can see Accelerate already falling down to Mahfouz, and there's no chance on earth that he can get a revive or he can be back on his knees. But now, M4 Esports, you know, leaving behind their fallen teammate, they're just heading inside the circle to a good place. But Marcus might just meet his maker over here, because we also see the players of GR ELECTRIFY rotating right in front of him.
Well, they are certainly rotating, and Marcos doesn't want to be in their path, because it would have been a 1v4 situation, but Marcos has somehow decided to change his path. But still, he is not in a safe position, being out in the open area, especially when you have a buggy over there. Someone can take the shots at you, and after that, the vehicle might be exploded, and you will meet your makers. On the other hand, KS is a... If we talk about teams, most of the teams are right now trying to hold on to the ridges or the open field area, making use of those vehicles, because it could end up with a Gatka region or an open field area zone. But I see very few teams holding on to the compounds, because all the major compounds of the Gatka region are still not contested.
Yeah, Gatka region is not contested, but the southern side, look at the number of teams, look at the cluster, look at the splash of colors that we have in front of. TRZ already settling in, EPSILON Esports already over there, Venom Secret also making their move. We have got the players of Immortals also present, and then we have Venom Legends also joining. So a lot of teams have really formed up, and I believe like, it feels like we're casting a Vikendi game, all the teams just beside one another, but not really doing much of damage. And look at Gremlin Storm. Now they have started the rotation in. They are making their way down to the south, but now we have the first airdrop coming in. That's the MK14, and oh my goodness, the big man, Bad Rev, he's gotten this for himself. And if he gets what he wants, he is going to pawn everybody down inside the lobby.
Well, he certainly can, because the GSM have been quite aggressive since day 2. But what I'm a little surprised is no one is also trying to hold on to the Georgiapol Everest also. They can get a lot of information of the Gatka region if any of the team tries to hold on to it. But somehow teams have decided to move on. But right now, Team KS is there holding on to their compounds, looking pretty comfortable. And maybe until the zone forces them, they are not going to leave. They have got enough sufficient vehicles also, because they do realize, because circle might end up anywhere, and they will have to rely on those vehicles as cover, or maybe there's some smokes. Let's see if that is going to happen. But the team that is in close vicinity is going to the plus of Team SLX Alpha, a team not having a very good start, then showed some signs of a good game in few of the games. In 2 games after that, they are again falling down. But if right now the plus of Team KS spots them out, then they would be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah, they certainly will be. Now, for KSAXE, this team has been building the momentum along with the likes of Gremlin Storm. They've also showed some amazing comebacks yesterday. Of course, not having enough chicken dinners like Gremlin Storm did, but still, on the kills department, they've been so aggressive. And this was also a team that was in the bottom half. They were on the verge of being last, but they somehow have found themselves back in. And this is where experience really comes into play. you have that kind of experience. And talking about that, we can see already the players of KS. In fact, FT getting a beautiful knockout there. Now Sanhok's still finding some good angle. You can kind of confirm that kill. Mefos, he's really low. I don't think there's any chance on earth that he will survive. But Cynics somehow going towards his fallen teammate, trying to get that revive back in, and will be hoping for that early reset. But is KS Axe gonna commit for that? We can see the players already sitting in their buggies, but no, they have retreated, which means one thing, they've just backed off.
Well, they have backed up, but it could have been their opportunity. If they had making use of those vehicles and gone in for the flank angle, they could have gotten themselves few kills in their hands. But I believe KS is being a little cautious over here because they can't mess up any of the game. Every single point is going to matter a lot. So I think they are being a little cautious and are going to play their cards right. So they have decided to change their location also because maybe the opponent team, if they decides to disengage, maybe the opponent team decides to rush in towards them. So they have decided to just change their path, try and hold on to some other compound. But another team which is also parallelly making their rotations is going to the plus of GR ELECTRIFY. And if we talk about the zone, it's quite an interesting zone because it has shifted from the Gatka and now it is towards the western side of Kori.
Yeah, it certainly is. Now, this is really, really refreshing because now the teams have to completely have a different approach to it. And look at the teams rotating like a swarm of bees to their specific, towards their desired location. Now we can see some fights erupting between the players of EPSILON Esports and TRZ. And now, well, M4 Esports, they're also making a move down below from the southern side. But Gremlin Storm find themselves right in the epicenter amidst every single fight, and we have Virus already taking a dig at the players of Venom Secret, and I believe it's Ratul that has been wiped out from this particular game.
Well, he has been wiped out and GR ELECTRIFY is quite happy, but on the other hand, Shoaib has also been eliminated. Venom Secret not having a very good start. They have already lost two of their players. Another team, Jackpot of Team M4 Esports, has been taken down, and I believe he will get a confirmation also. On the other hand, Robber 6 has been picked up by Nightwing of Venom Legends. GR ELECTRIFY has to be quite careful because they are taking fight with the strongest team, the team that is at the top of the leaderboard, Venom Legends over there. And Creon Sand is still trying to shoot in their direction. They need some loot, I believe. That's why they are deploying some of the smokes. And Venom Legends, we know how aggressive they can be. They have gotten an initial knock onto the players of Team GR ELECTRIFY. If second time they get a knock, we might see them rushing in towards them.
Yeah, we certainly can. Now the players of GR ELECTRIFY, they are prone in, but we see a fight emerging between the players of Team Cyko and A1 Esports 1952. Now this is not a position where they would want to find themselves at because they've just got that small compound. Now if they do not make anything happen, now if Team Cyko decides to go on aggressive, which is not really likely to be their play style, they're the ones who love to defend things over. But Badrev talking about his MK14, it has already started making ripples throughout the map, scaring and instilling fears into the heart of their opponents. Now Kapshi getting that beautiful double knock and just goes pushing in and wiping out the existence of EPSILON Esports. Now every single player of Team Gremlin Storm so much alert. They finished down the last player of EPSILON Esports, and there you go. This is the first team to get eliminated.
Well, the first team to get eliminated, EPSILON Esports. I didn't anticipate that because if we talk about EPSILON Esports at the second page of the leaderboard, I think this was the one team with highest kill points. That was 43 kill points. I expected them to have a better performance, but they were up against the strongest team, that is GSM, which is not stopping for anyone. And GSM again having a very good start. But two teams which are sharing the same compound are going to be the players of Team Cyko and A1 Esports. A1 Esports might be barging some grenades towards the player of Team Cyko, but they also have to be careful of another team which is also right behind them. That is going to be the players of Team EXENTRIC Infinity holding on to the squad house. So maybe there are chances of a third party. But A1 Esports, after look at the angle the Magnet is holding over there, if any of the player of Team Cyko comes out in the open, or maybe Magnet can deploy some grenades also into the direction of Team Cyko and try and take down one or at least two players down.
Now, I like the position of Magnet, you know. He's got that flank angle coming in for himself. Now, any single movement made by the players of Team Cyko would be easily spotted by him. Now, considering the fact that he's just prone in, And I have to take into assumption that Team Cyko does not know about his position. So now if Team Cyko makes any rash move, they will be punished for that. But elsewhere, we can see the players of EXENTRIC, Infinity getting down. Lord dishing out a lot of damage and taking down Heaven YT from the team of IPGX. Now XOSS. This is also one of the team that we need to talk about, because in the first day they were in the top 3 and suddenly they find themselves in the bottom half after the end of the second day. Now Team SLX getting a few confirmation, but Venom Secret, they've been getting an early elimination out and 0 points is what they are going to end up with. So this is going to be a lot more troublesome considering the dismal performance that has been going on. But now EXENTRIC find themselves in the circle. Sure, he's just trying to spot out different enemies. But now the only problem with having a compound like this, you do not know where your enemy is going to peek in from. And if your body is visible, you are going to get taken down.
Yes, he can be taken down, especially when there are so many ridges around or the height advantage the opponent team can have on you. So they have to be very careful. On the other hand, the team which is not careful is going to the plus of Team SLX, as Rescue has been taken down by a vehicle explosion. SLX Alpha has been reduced to just 1-man squad. And in fact, M4 Esports and EXENTRIC Infinity also just one solo player. I'm sorry, EXENTRIC Infinity with 2 players over there, and in front of them are their 2 squads. XOSS officials is there. There's another squad also, that is IPG, 2 squads, and EXENTRIC Infinity doesn't want to win this compound. Let's just hope, they are just hoping the 2 teams, XOSS officials and IPG, try and engage in a fight with each other so they can get an advantage. On the other hand, even Esports is also having a good compound to their name, but the team is it's a deadlock situation between the plus of Team Cyko and A1 Esports. None of them want to make any mistake. They're just holding on to, like you mentioned, it's a typical Vikendi style. The game, it is going 2 teams in the same compound and no one is taking a fight.
Hey, you've got to give it to these players. You have got to cut some slack to them, because this is the final day. Today is make it or break it. So everyone wants to survive. Everyone wants to live. Every single second really counts. As the shift, we can see the curveball finally coming in, and it still favors the players of A1 Esports 1952. Team Cyko also finding themselves inside the circle. TRZ, they've always been the lucky bunch. They've always somehow made it inside the circle. And now all these teams are going to make their rotation coming in. The 5th circle going to start closing in any second right now. But Sanhok are already dishing out a lot of damage and taking down the players of Venom Legends. Now Miramar is also being spotted out by Abir. He goes down. Now KSX might have got a knock, but they have also got their comrade that's knocked out over here. Steel shot, oh my goodness, just falling to his own death from his own vehicle. Gets confirmed. Now, Team Cyko, they are just, picking up whatever is right in front of them. Every single kill, every single knock, they're just making it theirs.
They are making it there, but FT being the lucky one was not spotted down by Abir, but now he has been spotted and Abir takes him down, and problem for the players are going to arise a lot if they won't be able to give revive. Sanhok, let's see if he can go in for the revival. On the other hand, Grace Sand gets a 1 grenade kill and becomes the Grenadier. Team XOSS not having a good day, vehicle explosion, and they are eliminated. And bad day of Team GSM is also on a domination spree as he gets 3 kills to his teammates. On the other hand, Team iMMORTAL is also not looking good at all. But the deadlock situation, A1 Esports and Team Cyko are in. Maybe the plus of Team GSM can break it, as they might do a third party. But right now their focus is on to the plus of Team TRZ. They might want to hold on to that compound. And there's another team also, that is Team EXENTRIC Infinity.
Yeah, that they are. Now Gremlin Storm, they've got a clearer path rather. They do not really have to engage against a lot of different squad. Crayon San, of course, he's on dominating spree over here. KSX, they're not looking to stop. They're getting kills after kills. They're looking really hungry today, but they've lost 2 of their players. Now that is going to be disappointing for them. But Magnet getting the final confirmation onto its Heaven. Now he is also getting that Grenadier tag for himself. Team Cyko and Team A1 Esports 952 have been beside each other since forever. But the last player of XOSS finally goes down. Cynic's also getting spotted out by Abir, as he is just peppering down a few bullets, nothing really connecting. Sanhok has been taken down by Robo6, who would eventually get traded off by his own teammate, that's Ehsan from KSX. Now Korean San, he has found himself in a shroud of smoke, but for how long is the question.
For how long? It's a complete chaotic situation right now, Fixers. There are so many teams in close vicinity and everybody's shooting here and there and taking down the players, and the close vicinity hitman is trying to spot down some of the players, but Team Cyko is looking pretty comfortable. They have a good hold of a compound and they are checking the waterways. Maybe some team is there, but look at the position of TRZ. There are players of Team GSM, there are players of Team EXENTRIC Infinity, and another team which could be in a lot of trouble or going for a late rotation, KSAX. They have to be very careful because there are so many squads waiting for them, and maybe the players of GR ELECTRIFY, who are right now pinned down beside, courtesy to that smoke, they have revealed their position also to the players of Team Cyko, and it's a matter of time. Abir might be shooting in their direction, but looks of it, A1 Esports has decided to break in a fight with the players of Team Cyko.
Yeah, that certainly has happened now. The fight is going to erupt in any single moment, and Team Cyko, they're preparing themselves for that. They're just on the edge of the circle, so they have to be very wary of the players of A1 Esports really coming in right on their faces. But we can see Virus elsewhere getting a few knocks for himself, getting those confirmations. As this game is drawing to an end, we can see all these players struggling, in fact, to try to rotate around to on stand. Somehow makes a successful maneuver up until the point he gets caught down by Evil Eye. And now Badger will confirm that kill, of course. Now Gremlin Storm, they've gotten those back-to-back hat-trick for themselves. Can they get the quadruple? You know, that would be really impressive. That would just blow out the minds of every single opponent out there. Now, with so many teams outside the equation, we already have Venom Legends getting eliminated. Now A1 Esports, they have a good chance at getting this chicken, but how are they going to convert it though? We can see Virus lobbing a beautiful grenade, but does not really connect on any of the players. Now he's making a push from the eastern side now to its northern side. Now can he spot A1 Esports' players as they look to reposition themselves to get a better vantage point in that entire compound?
Well, 3 squads in same compound, and what just happened? Virus OP has been taken down by Magnet, and a perfect Molotov coming into what Chinpin, and Chinpin is burning. He need to pop in that first hit ASAP, otherwise he would be a down man, but he has survived that Molotov coming in from A1 Esports. One of the player of A1 Esports is already down, and the team will be going in for the revival, but they have to be careful because GSM has set their eyes onto the players of A1 Esports, and it's a matter of time when Badgrave or his teammates will be start shooting in their direction. The minute the players of A1 Esports expose their head, that is when GSM will start shooting and will try to take them down. But another player has been taken down. That is Hitman by a grenade.
Yeah, that certainly has happened over here. But right now, C Minor lobbing a few smokes, trying to instill fear into the enemy's hearts as he goes pushing in inside the building finally. But can he get spotted out? Is he going to get a few knocks? No, he's taking a lot of damage. He's finally been taken down by Chinpin, who completely heard his footsteps coming in. Now A1 Esports have to commit for this fight as they have no longer any time remaining with them. But since the players are just falling down one after the other like a stack of dominoes, what are they going to do? Now Team Cyko, they are still fighting themselves out inside the smoke, inside the shroud over here. Now Zeso, well, he's taking a first aid for himself. Now what do we do with that? Now Team Cyko, they find themselves amidst the players of A1 Esports, and now again a standstill coming in here as they're not making any move. They're all in the same compound but still surviving with those 3 players. Now Tawfiq will of course get that revive. I'm pretty sure both these teams have to make themselves and get inside the circle. How do they do that, Joe? Magnet, he's making a move from over here, but Abir, he manages to spot him off, pepper down with a few bullets, and yes, he gets that beautiful knock, and he does need to follow it up. Now this is the perfect time for Team Cyko to go in and engage in the fight.
Well, this is the time Team Cyko will engage in a fight. A1 Esports is not looking good at all. Magnet, I believe, is going for a heal battle, but I believe it's too early for a heal battle. So Team A1 Esports will be reduced to just one man. One shot, I'm sorry, it was one shot who was going in for a heal battle, but now he has decided to move towards the zone, but he has to take fight with all the players of Team Cyko. How is he going to clutch it? Can he clutch it? That is going to the main question. One player of Team Cyko is still in the compound. One shot trying to shoot him down, but he gets taken down by the players of Team GSM from somewhere else. And now TRZ, who are outside the compound of the players of Team GSM, and a perfect grenade coming in with that. A1 Esports has been eliminated. Zixo has been taken down. Perfect grenade takes Machine down of Team GSM. Can Machine get the revival? That is going to the main question. But because of the vehicle explosion, IPG Cynics has been taken down.
Yeah. Of course, now, Evil Eye, he's got his eyes set onto its Hitman and Gremlin Storm. Oh my goodness, 12 kills already for this team, and they do look nothing at them to stop But now, Evil Eye getting the confirmation again, and Chinpin going down. Team Cyko, they have bitten the dust as we have our final last 3 teams surviving. Eccentric Infinity somehow have managed to make it to the top 3, but can they make it to the top 2? That's the bigger question. Gremlin Storm edging in for that quadruple, and now if they make it, that's going to be huge.
Well, that is going to be huge. GSM is still surviving with all the 4 players. They have the numbers advantage, but TRZ, look at their position. They are holding on to just a small compound. One grenade coming in from GSM or the players of Eccentric Infinity might take the whole squad down, or at least 2 players down. And courtesy to that smoke, the players of Team GSM definitely knows that there is a squad, but a grenade comes in the direction of the players of GSM, who somehow has survived. GSM in this particular fight, they are looking very good. They are looking very strong. They have a good cover to their name. They are looking 14 kills strong. They are on a killing spree, and if they manage to take TRZ also down, I think nothing is stopping them from going towards that winner chicken dinner.
Yeah, of course. Now Evil Eye, he's got a perfect position coming in for him. Now the 27 minutes have already passed. The 8th circle starts closing in. Now Thunder gets a beautiful, beautiful grenade onto its the players of TRZ. White Cat goes down. And now this is where TRZ are making their move. Mamba's already closed in onto its Thunder. But that's when Gremlin Storm are striking from behind. It's a perfect Mexican standoff, but definitely not in the favor of Thunder as he finally falls. And dome home. Evil Eye, he's gotten 8 kills out of the 15 that Gremlin Storm have gotten for themselves. Look at these players shining. Oh my goodness. By the end of the first day, they were in the bottom half. They certainly look like to be taking the top position. Now Machine has already been taken out. It's a perfect 3v3 situation. Who is going to seal the deal over here? Now the players of TRZ, they're all constricted to one particular crate over there. One good grenade coming in from the players of Gremlin Storm might just end things for 3 of them, in fact, as Anaconda has finally fallen down. The push is imperative right now. White Cat still somehow finding and fighting, but not for any long, because Evil Eye has gotten him. And Mamba, he's also falling down, as yes, Gremlin Storm have managed to take this chicken dinner. And with that, the quadruple coming in.
Quadruple coming in, a perfect performance coming in from this team. 32.17 goes to their name, and look at the damage, 2,250 damage. That is quite high damage. A team which failed to show up in the first day. Second day they started off, and they are not stopping for anyone.
Yes. Now this is a team that, tales will be written for them, the way they've been playing. And wow. The way they rotated, that was a late rotation. But I think this is where the zone prediction really comes into play. A perfect position inside the circle. Now, they did not want to be at the center of things, because being at the center, you have a lot of trouble to escape if the zone kind of elopes from you or gets away from you. But now what we are going to do is take a look at the MVP of this game, and that is going to be Evil Eye, if I'm not wrong. And yes, that is the case over here. 10 kills out of those 18 that they've gotten.
Well, yes, 10 kills, 3 assists, and look at the damage, 1147 damage. And yes, GSM, they played it to perfection. In fact, they had spotted on so many squads, and they didn't overcome it to any fight. That was the good thing coming in from this squad. They knew where the players were. They had spotted on so many squads in that compound area, but instead of rushing or making a mistake, they just held on to their ground, waited patiently for the zone to shift, get a good position in the zone, and take the fights and eliminate squad after squad.
Yeah, that they did. And in what fashion? 4 back-to-back chicken dinners. You don't see that anywhere else. You see that over here only. And now this team is finally playing like a champion, and I wouldn't be surprised if they get the 5th one coming in for themselves. Now this is gonna create a huge ruckus around the points table, the leaderboard as we speak, because Venom Legends, they got early on eliminated, and A1 Esports, of course, they tried, but not having enough of the kills. And let's take a look at the top players and see which are the ones that are gonna join Evil Eye in the fray. And no doubts over there. Badred, 4 kills. We see Sanhok with 3. Kampshi also following up with 3. And Magnet to seal things off with just 2. But Wow, Evil Eye, 10 kills from a single game? Are you kidding me?
Well, that is quite high number. 10 kills. In fact, his teammates also. Badrev, if you remember, he has an MK14 here and he used it perfectly with 4 kills to his name. And if we talk about Sanhok also, Team KS, they were having a bad position. They were caught out in the open area. And that's when their 2 of their teammates, I believe, were taken down. But Sanhok still tried to compensate for it and he got himself 3 kills.
Yeah, of course. Now, KSX, they did not have the best of the position. They were outside the zone. They did not have a good compound to fight around. But whatever they had, every small resource, they used it perfectly fine. And getting those kills will, of course, help them even climbing up further. But we are going to take a look at the numbers and see how the teams have played in this particular game, as the match summary comes right in front of our screens. And lots of smokes have been committed. A lot, in fact, in those small compounds. 227 smokes and grenades perhaps, 10 headshots and 53 knocks coming out, and a perfect conviction rate.
Yeah, 53 kill confirmed. That's quite a perfection. And 5 grenade kills, 3 drops looted also. This was quite an interesting game if we talk about. And yes, smokes and nades were pretty high considering there were so many teams in the compounds area. And last zone was also in fact near that compound. So it was quite expected that teams will try to pop in as many grenades and deploy as many smokes as possible.
Yes, and that they have successfully done. And a lot of grenades, in fact 5 grenade kills, that was impressive. But now we'll take a look at the standings and see how the teams have gotten the points after this game. And 32 points, 17 kills. And Eccentric Infinity coming out on the second spot, which is 3 kills. And look at KSX, 7 kills and 4 position points. They find themselves in the 4th spot. But TRZ, always being consistent. And again, the 3rd spot. Now this is going to be a bit tough because Gremlin Storm, I'm pretty sure, have finally tossed over TRC. But have they gone beyond A1 Esports and Venom Legends? That's the bigger question, because I believe A1 Esports, considering this performance, now that they were tied up with Venom Legends, I would really want to see their points. Now 2 points. So 5 points lead coming in from A1 Esports. But is it enough for Team Gremlin Storm to make it to the top position?
Well, maybe, because if I remember correctly, it was 26-point difference and they have already gotten themselves 32 points. Maybe they are at the top.
You know, considering the fact that A1 Esports also got 7 points, I think they might be on the 2nd position. But
yeah.
They have really closed in. Like, let's talk about their storyline. First day, we were like wondering, which is this team? Why do they look so lost? And they were trying to find their vibe. They were trying to find their zone. How do they play? How do they play around these circles? And finally, towards the 2nd day, in fact, from the 2nd game of the 2nd day, they finally figured themselves out. They got everything back up together. And whatever mistakes they were committing, they rectified it. They played the circle, they played the zone, they respected it, they stayed in the center, took every single fight very carefully, did not lose out their players early on. And finally, with a splendid, marvelous performance for this team. And now let's take a look at the leaderboard as to see how this chicken dinner has really impacted their performance. And yes, they are on the 2nd spot, but just 1 point shy of A1 Esports 1952.
Yes, just 1 point shy, and maybe by end of today, the GSM, the experience they have, maybe we can see them at the top. And this is called comeback. I haven't seen such a comeback in a long time. The team which was at one point at the bottom of the table, then coming at the top, at top 2 position, or maybe in future we can see them at the top position also. But Venom Legends, this is a team that is quite struggling. If we talk about yesterday also, they started off really good. They got themselves a chicken dinner also, but had 1 or 2 bad games, and this time also they had an early exit. And right now they are at a safe spot. Not much point difference between A1 Esports and Venom Legends. It's just 5 point difference. They can compensate for it. But TRZ Esports, this is a team that has been so consistent, and if they keep up this consistency, maybe they can also topple over Venom Legends.
Yeah, maybe is the question, because now things have spiced up so much, and now TRZ is not even far behind. If they keep on continuing this kind of run, they might just enter the top 3 again. Now, taking a look downstairs, Immortal X, of course, have just risen a rank, and the competition over here, up until the 14th position, is also tough. Now, anyone can really climb up. SLX Alpha, if they get a chicken for themselves, they can also go up until the 10th position. Now, that's a huge rise up in the ranks. And With just 5 games remaining, the countdown already has begun for all these teams. But there is something that you guys can win. The giveaway, of course, of those 8 Daras, gift cards, and one brand new iPhone 12. Now what you have to do, it's the final day, so you're not getting any more iPhones after this. It's those 3 iPhones that have to be distributed, 2 have already been done. Now the last one, the last iPhone. Who is that lucky winner that's gonna get it? How do you get it? You have to like the stream, of course. You have to subscribe to the channel, and in the chat section, hashtag PMCC, hashtag PUBGMOBILE, and with your character ID and of course your in-game name. You just have to keep spamming, and randomly one lucky winner will of course get his hands, or in fact her hands, on the iPhone 12 that we have. And of course those Daras gift cards. I know you all want the iPhone, but only one winner, only one lucky winner perhaps will get it. But right now what we are going to do is push for a short little break, because after coming up is another intense action of Miramar.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to PMCC Bangladesh, PUBGMOBILE Campus Championship Bangladesh Interposition, and we have talked to a few teams. We have known what their goods, their bads, their uglies, and their crazies, but now it's time to move things up a little bit. Now we're going to go to Cykos, because there's one team that has been dominating with their name, with their game, with their gameplay, with their game style, with their game sense all together. So we're going to be talking about with these players. So guys, before we just begin up with this interview, why don't you guys just start with introducing yourselves?
Hello, my name is Utshab Chandra Barman. My in-game name is Cyko Jinpin. My in-game role is filter plus supporter.
My name is Fahmul Islam. My in-game name is Cyko Zixo. I am the IGL and the sniper of my team.
My name is Tasinul Islam Sami. My in-game name is Cyko Hitman. My role is supporter of Anti-Fragger.
Hi guys, my name is Abir and my in-game name is Cyko Abir and my in-game role is Anti-Fragger.
Alright, well, I would like to dedicate this question to the IGL, as we are just, seeing your performances. In quarterfinals, it was not that good, but in semi-finals, you leveled it up many folds. So what was the difference, what was the mental difference in your performance when it comes to quarterfinals and semi-finals, and also moving on to the finals right now?
আমরা আর কি কোয়ার্টার ফাইনাল আমাদের যেগুলো ভুল ছিল, যে ভুলগুলি ছিল সেগুলো আমরা স্টাডি করছি, সেই ভুলগুলির উপর, সেই ভুলগুলি থেকে আমরা ওই প্রবলেম সলভ করছি। পরে সেমিফাইনাল আমরা আমাদের ট্রাই হার্ড করছি। দ্যাটস ইট।
Alright, so now my question is going to be to Abir. What goes in your team meetings? Good games and bad games, those happen each and every day. So what happens in the team meetings when you discuss about the mentalities of quarterfinals, semifinals, and again in the finals?
Yeah, so whenever we just finish the match, then we just realize that why we died or why our performance is bad, and then we practice in the training ground or grind classic.
That's nice. And now, see, 3 of you are not wearing any cap, but there's one guy that's, for sure wearing a cap right now. But I want to give this one to one thing. Cap to crown, the championship crown that you guys will be focusing on. So what are your thoughts on the finals? How are you going to be playing the finals as compared to all the previous performances?
Every T1 team is a hardworking player, but dedication is main in a team. We are very dedicated to our teamwork, and we are doing that. That's why we're in the final. Yeah. Maybe we'll get the crown, inshallah.
Well, hopefully you guys will get the crown. And now moving forward with the discussion, I want to ask all 4 of you one by one. Which team do you think holds the strongest competition against you?
Every team is strongest competitor for us because they are in the final. They give their best. That's why they are in the final. We do not wanna see anyone easily. We're not taking them easily. That's it.
I think that our best competitor is GSM, Gremlin Storm.
Well, that is one good team for sure.
I think our best competitor is IPG.
I think our best competitive team is Venom Legends.
Well, coming back to you, Abir, I have one more question. Like talking about PUBGMOBILE Campus Championship Bangladesh. See, it's going to be a really good it's going to be a really good ride right now, just moving up forward with everything. So, what's going to be your future goals with the game?
Now our main target is PMCC Champion, and then we'll go for PMCO.
Well, that's very good. That's very good. But before we just end up this interview session, is there anything that you guys want to say, like each and everyone, a good word for your family, for your friends, for the supporters, for the fans out there? If there are any words of wisdom.
Just want to say that keep supporting and keep loving.
সবাই আমাদেরকে সাপোর্ট করতে থাকেন, ইনশাল্লাহ আমরা কোনো একটা ফল আনবো, ইনশাল্লাহ পিএমসিতে আবার দেখা হবে, ইনশাল্লাহ।
Keep supporting us, don't spread hate. That's it.
Yes, I want to say that don't spread hate, just keep supporting us. We will prove ourselves.
Well, I do believe that you guys will be doing the utmost justice to your gameplay, to your game style, to your game sense, and inshallah, you guys will be getting closer and closer to that trophy. Alhamdulillah, just hoping for the best out here by the grace of God, and maybe, just maybe, next time I'll be talking to you, I'll be talking to the champion. So, all the best for all the future endeavors.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to day number 3, the final day of the Grand Finals of PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, the Bangladesh edition. My name is Vixus, alongside me is Shadow, and well, Shadow, 4 back-to-back games for Gremlin Storm. What do you have to say on that?
Well, everybody is impressed. The experience they have, it is finally showing. The first day, definitely they were struggling, but since they have, like we have been talking about, they have so much experience, they can make a comeback, and they finally did it, and did it in style. 4 back-to-back chicken dinners. Can we have a 5th one?
Can we have a 5th one? Now that's a good thing that you've pointed out. Can they get the 5th one? Because it's already a record, and if that 5th one also comes in, now they're going to create history with that. But with that being said, let's just head away directly into the deserty lands of Miramar and see what action waits for all you guys.
Well, second match of final day already began, and if we talk about the plane path, it is going all the way from Junkyard towards Carter Fields area, and the teams who like dropping in towards Miramar, they might have to make use of those vehicles, otherwise almost all the areas are easily glidable. We saw some of the teams like dropping into hits in the Saint Martin, Montenuo also in fact, and they will have a they can easily glide in and drop in over there. El Pozo, let's see which of the team will be going. M4 Esports has already dropped in, and they might be heading towards Puerto. Or Los Leones, from the looks of it, it looks like they will be going in towards Puerto. Having extreme drops, the main disadvantage, if the force zone takes a hard shift, then especially in maps like Miramar, you might struggle during the rotation, or might struggle during entering into the zone.
Yes. Now, this is a flight path where the teams landing, of course, in the southern region will have a trouble. But before that, I actually want to take a look at where the circle really forms at. Now, this is going to be really tricky for Gremlin Storm because they are the big targets over here. Now, teams would want to take them down. And Miramar is a game where anything can possibly happen. If you have a wrong angle, if you have a wrong ridge that you're holding on to, that you might be in a whole world of trouble. Now, Gremlin Storm are certainly used to these kind of situations, right? They've got the most experience coming in the Bangladeshi region, dropping off at El Pozo. Now, what would really be wise for them is try to take a northern rotation all the way from La Cobrera, maybe to its Torre Ahmuda, because no one has really dropped around Tierra Bronca. So that area is completely clean. Now, if Eccentric, the guys from Eccentric, make a rotation from the northern side, that might spell trouble. But apart from that, I don't think they are going to have any kind of problem making such a move.
Well, they might not have any problem, but the teams that might have problem are going to the teams that have dropped in towards Puerto area. That is going to the players of M4 Esports and A1 Esports. Because if they take an eastern side rotation, then they might have to face off with so many teams, and that could prove deadly, or that might not be the place where they want to be. And if they again opt in for the western side rotation, then maybe they can face GSM, who would be waiting for them, or maybe another teams also. But for now, A1 Esports has already decided to change their position. Maybe they have already noticed that there is already someone there. There is an opponent. There's an enemy team in here, and they don't want to be here because they don't have any loot in their hands. And from the looks of it, they don't even have any gun in their hands. One of the player, one shot, definitely have a UMP-45, but that won't be sufficient to take on the whole squad of M4 Esports.
Yeah, that's not going to be sufficient, like you mentioned. Now, well, the players of GR Electrify, they are dropping off, looting whatever they want. They're in the big city. They've been in Los Leones, or is it? No. My apologies there. They have dropped off at San Martin. Now they will have to head towards Hacienda, get something in going for themselves. It's also a big city. No complaining over there. And where do they go from here? We have seen the first day is Miramar, if you remember, Shadow. The circle completely came down over here. But today, that's not going to be the same case. Today, that's not going to be the situation. I believe IPGX had won this one around. And after that, we have not really seen any good performances. Yesterday, I think they got a top 3 finish, and that's just about it. So they're kind of struggling. They're still in the first page, though, but for how long? But Crayon San, having already been spotted out by the players of XOSS. Now, he's got a 3 times on his M4, but Paradox spotting him out. But elsewhere, we can see Ziso already getting a dig onto its Genghis Khan, getting the first blood coming in for him. Now, Team Cyko, they've been playing really well lately, respecting the circle, playing from the center, not really forcing out the fights, not really the flashy team that you would love to see. But as long as you're getting points, I am certain that we won't really complain.
Well, points is all that we need and the players need, and as long as you are getting it, no problem with that. But one of the player, Crayon San, is on a very low HP. He needs to heal up really fast. And now that we talk about it, Team IPG and Team, I believe, Immortal X were the two teams who were in the Saint Martin area when the zone shifted towards that. But right now, it seems like both of the teams have decided to have a little change in their drop locations, because I don't see them anywhere near Saint Martin. It's the players of Team GR Electrify and Team XOSS Official. And if we talk about Team XOSS Official, the way they started off day one showed signs that they can be on the first page of the leaderboard, but right now after that, since day 2, they have not been able to find their ground. They are struggling. In fact, sometimes they are facing an early elimination with just 2-3 points in their hands, and that is not what we expected from XOSS Official. And right now also, if we have a look at them, they are in a 2v2 split. They are just looting away in the smaller compounds, and they are quite oblivious of the fact that there is another team also that is going to be players of GR Electric. So they will be a little careful. They might not overexpose themselves, and looks like Sleepyhead is trying to spot down the enemy from that window area, and if the minute he spots him down, he's going to give a perfect call. And in fact, Alpha 49 was yesterday, if you remember, Miramar, Alpha 49 was quite separated from his teammates, and that's when the players of Team GR Electrify tried to hunt him down, and Team XOSS, I believe, lost some of their players. They suffered casualty during the fight.
Yeah, they certainly did. And today there is something that they cannot afford to make mistakes like that. They have to stick in close. Even if they are apart, they need to make sure that they've got a good angle on each other. If someone falls down, the other needs to be there to provide that very quintessential cover fire. But by the looks of it, all these teams, they're just looting right now. But only one team, Shadow, is going to win this one. Only one team is going to come out stronger, because the rest, they will just be giving their loots away. And But this is a very interesting circle, to be honest, because these are the kinds of circles that are needed. And in the final day, every single twisted circle feels like a curveball right from the early start. Now, teams really have the time in the first circle to really plan things out. Where do you want to drop? Where do you want to go? How do you want to approach this? Everyone has their different opinions, but it all comes down to the IGL. What he wants to do. How does he get back? How does he make his team survive for longer time? And talking about teams getting back, Venom Legends. Now, they were in the first position before the day began. Now they're in the third. The difference is not really huge. It's just 5-6 points. But can they do it? That's the bigger question.
Well, that's the bigger question. And now that you pointed out fixes, I agree. IGL has a lot of job to do. But I would like to ask you, since you were also a competitive player at one point of time, do you want to be in the shoes of an IGL? Because I certainly don't want to be.
I mean, it completely depends, you know. Of course, if you win games, people will commend you. Yeah, your calls were really great. But if you lose games, the fingers are, of course, going to be pointed at you. And now, if any mistake happens, you know, so the blame, of course, comes on the IGL. You called for it. You made the call, and this is how it happened. So this kind of blame game really goes in not just in our region, but in every other region as well. So this is where the role of a filter comes in. Now, the game you're playing, if your IGL does give a call out, right, you need to follow it blindly. You need to trust his calls because he's like a director. He's like a visionary. If he has thought of something, then he must have something going on in his mind. And suddenly, we've been in this kind of precarious situations where, you know, the players are like, no, this is not your right. This is not a right call. I think we should go there. And despite the call being already made, the player goes to the location that he wants to, and things get messed up. And now the fight suddenly begins. And, you know, coming back to your answer right now, we'll get back to it in a bit. But we can see the players of XOSS being taken down. Paradox, of course. But continuing with the conversation, well, it's never easy to be the IGL. But if your teammates trust in you, if they confide their emotions, their feelings within you, and you know how your team works, you know how your players think, you know how your players really want to approach this, then if you can handle all that, then you are suited to be an IGL. But I'm not an IGL material. I used to be more of a filter. I used to filter out the calls. And yeah, it's like a coin, right? It has to go either ways. Like I mentioned, it can go good if your team is winning, but it goes bad on most of the occasions, at least with me.
Well, it certainly can go bad, and like you said, it can be a blame game also, but you need to have trust. You need to have trust on your teammates, on your IGL especially, and that is how you win the game. But the player who needs trust of his teammate is going to be Sleepyhead, because Alpha 49 needs to provide the perfect calls for Sleepyhead so that he can survive the players who are rushing in towards him. Can Sleepyhead fall back? And yes, he does manage to fall back. He's trying to disengage from this fight, and with that, Sleepyhead takes down one of the player, but he himself gets traded off. But the perfect cover fire coming in from Alpha 49 takes another player also down, and now both the teams have two of their players down on their knees, and this is not a situation where they want it to be. It can go either ways. Any of the team can go for an elimination, but look at Creon Sand. He's popping in that grenade, and this grenade could be deadly for the player Sleepyhead, and he does manage to eliminate him also. And now ZOS official has been reduced to 3-man squad, out of which one is already knocked out, and Alpha 49 will play the crucial role in this fight.
Yeah, he certainly is going to be, as the smoke cover is being slowly but surely built up for Robo 6, as their teammates are trying to get him back on his toes. But Paradox already being revived out there. Alpha 49 providing the perfect cover fire, but can he find out Creon Sand? Because he's making a really ballsy move out there. And the cover fire, of course, is coming out from Lot. Now, this is where the trust factor really comes in, right? You know, one of your players is already down, but no, we are somehow getting him back on his toes. And, well, GR ELECTRIFY have certainly done a very, very good job at that. Now, they need to back off. They need to spread out. They got a 1 kill, and they know that they can get another. All they have to do is get themselves a good vantage point from where they can engage.
Well, they definitely need a good advantage point. And on the other hand, if we talk about one of the player of Team GR Electrify is still holding on to his position, and rest of the three players are rushing in towards Paradox. On the other hand, the players of Team Cyko, Abir has already been picked up, and Paradox needs to be very careful of those grenades coming in from Crayon Sand and GR Electrify. They are looking very strong. Team ZOS official, the disadvantage they have is all the players are being so split up. Sleepyhead was quite split up, and now Paradox is at the receiving end, and there is a possibility all the three players of GR Electrify, all the four players, because all fourth player has already also decided to join in, and that could be deadly for Paradox because he is not getting any cover fire or any backup from his teammates. And Paradox, he's in a lot of trouble. He has to deal with this 1v3 situation, and don't show your back to your enemy. This could be the moment when Paradox could have been taken down. And then can he take one of the player down? And yes, he does manage to take one, takes another one also down. Can he get the confirmation? And he gets the confirmation onto one of the player. He wants to get the confirmation on the player also of GR Electrify, and he does manage to eliminate two of the players. And now GR Electrify, who are looking quite strong in this fight, have been released.
Yeah, and now they are backing off. They are running away from this fight. And well, there is no chance on earth that Lord is going to survive. Now, this is where the morals of the players of XOSS have been boosted up, as Paradox, being an angel to this entire squad, he held on his grounds despite the fact that two players really came right up on his face. Now, what mistake that Team GR Electrify did commit was the fact that they pushed in one by one. Had they pushed in together, had they pushed in tandem, then things could have been completely different. But now, GR Electrify find themselves behind the walls. Now the situations have changed, the tables have turned. Now how are they going to respond to this threat? Because XOSS might just do the same thing that Crayon Sand and his teammates tried to do upon them.
Well, Paradox definitely turned the tables around for his team, and can he now eliminate the rest of the two players? That is going to be the question. On the other hand, if we talk about Virus OP, he's trying to hold on to an off angle where the players of Team ZOS official might not be expecting him, and he can change the game, but he need to be careful because he has not got the enough armor, the sufficient armor that he requires to take a 1v3 fight. On the other hand, it looks like Crayon Sand is deploying some of the smokes. He might want to disengage from this fight and try and go for the maximum position points he can go for, because dealing with a 2v3 fight, they are outnumbered. And on the other hand, the players of Team Cyko are in a lot of trouble, as two of the players are already down. And Team SLX Alpha, look at the HP of Agent. He's surviving on a very low HP, and it's just one. It has come down to 1v1 situation between Agent and Abir of Team Cyko.
Yeah. Now Agent, he needs to heal himself up, but no, he's going for the latter. He is going aggressive. He wants to throw that grenade. He wants to wipe the existence of Team Cyko. Again, Chin Pen falling down. This is the higher collective where they need to make the push, and they do that with perfection. And with that being said, Team SLX have managed to wipe out Team Cyko, a team that was in the top 3 have now been reduced to nothing, and they are the first team rather to get eliminated. But Venom Legends, they find themselves in fact surrounded by different teams, 3 teams in the nearby fray. How are they going to engage this one out? And Steel Shot in the middle of it all, how does he escape from this particular situation?
Well, how he is going to deal the situation, that is going to be the main question. On the other hand, Eccentric Infinity also trying to do a third party, but Steel Shot, Venom Legends, what is happening? They were at the top of the chart, and now they have been reduced to just one-man squad. Steel Shot, it's all upon him that how many placement points he can go for. But this is not the situation from where he can disengage or fall back or go towards a safer path, because he has been spotted down by not just one, I believe 2 squads, and Thunder is not letting him go. He has his eyes set on Steel Shot, and the minute Steel Shot even peaks a little, Thunder will be taking shots towards him, and he does take him down also. And with that, Venom Legends has been eliminated at 14th position with just 1 point.
What did we just witness, Shadow? 14th position elimination, getting nothing, just a 1 point. Well, that does not really look like the day Venom Legends really want for themselves. This is the same thing that had happened with Gremlin Storm the first day, but they managed to recover. But this team, where do they go from here? Because if A1 Esports and Gremlin Storms keep on dominating, keep on having a good run, they're gonna get a good lead. But oh my goodness, they never shy away from a drop. Now, this time, the big green cannon with an 8-time scope attached to it. I've got nothing to say after this.
Well, I want to see some heads popping in with that AWM, because that's what we have been missing from day one. Except for those M24 shots coming in from Careless of Team Immortal, we haven't witnessed much headshots, especially not from AWM. So let's see if Team GSM is going to do some action with that mean gun, the beast gun, AWM, and especially Miramar. This is the perfect map for that gun. But right now, if we talk about the zone, so many teams are centered around that one hilltop area. Players of Team TRZ are also there. Right behind them, we have the players of Team Immortal X also, but no one wants to be the king of hill. Nobody wants to be at the top of that mountain area, because they might realize that zone may take a hard shift and then they will struggle coming down to the lower area. And on the other hand, a perfect, we talk about a headshot, and Heaven Whitey gets a headshot onto the players of Team EXENTRIC Infinity with that perfect M24.
Yeah, and now finally the bolt action being in display. Well, switching up to his M4. Trying to dish out enough damage on that vehicle to just blow it out. But no, that does not work that way. Heaven, in fact, scouring around, trying to spot any roaming enemies and take their heads popping out from their bodies. IPGX, well, they need to make a comeback today, because we know this team is with a lot of promises. And Peter, elsewhere, getting a knock again with his bolt action. And this time onto it's the players of IPGX, so they're getting a taste of their own medicine. But Creon-san, he never gives us, taking a dig again at the players of XOSS. And 2 players have gone down. Where do they go with that fight? And I'm still waiting for that fight to be in front of our screens. And if we could have that, though. But no, Creon-san, again, having a confirmation onto its dead man. Alpha 49 also falls down, this time to Evil Eye. But Bad Rev, he's taking a dig at the players of Venom Secret. Now, if we take a look at what's happening in front of us, we are finally shifting to a different fight. Shariar cooking a grenade into thin air. He just lobs it at. And, well, Shoaib, he's taking a lot of damage from behind, and it's Marcos who will get the confirmation. Gremlin Storm, they somehow get enough time amidst all this to get the revive on their player. But they also need to get a closure onto its the players of Venom Secret. Shariar, again, taking a lot of damage. How does he escape from the situation, considering the only vehicle he had has already been blown into smithereens?
Well, it's going to be a big challenge for him to move on to a safer position, because GSM is not going to let things go so easy for him. And especially when there are other teams also right behind them are going to the players of another squad also, that is going to be Immortal X also. TRZ is also there. In fact, let's see where the next zone is going to shift, because that is going to be the deciding factor that which of the team is going to have an upper hand. And Team TRZ, being the lucky one, again find themselves inside the zone. Team Immortal X is also there, and the other hand, Team GSM has eliminated the players of Team Venom Secret. Venom Legends, Venom Secret, both the teams that are struggling now, they both have been facing an early elimination, but Team GSM is still looking very strong. Can they go for the 5th victory? That is going to be the main question. But a jackpot of M4 Esports has been taken down, but I believe they will get an easy revival also, because I don't see any squad in the close vicinity. Perfect smokes, if they are deployed, they can go for that revival also. But Team Immortal X, if we talk about this team, they have a good compound to their name. The team which is out there in the open area is going to the players of GR Electrify. They're deploying some smoke. They might want to go for the flanks, and it looks like they are going for the flank. But Paradox is the one player who has not been spotted down, and he can change the game any minute, and he can take down both the players, because he's being the silent one over here. But now he makes some noise, and this could be a mistake. And yes, this is a mistake, because he made the sound and he has been taken down with that. XOSS official has been eliminated.
Yes, certainly they have, but now XOSS, well, finally the fight that did start off at San Martin did end up elsewhere. Of course, with GR Electrify getting the win over there. But A1 Esports 952's Magnet, he's on a prowl. He's on a killing spree. He is taking down players one after the other. And Eccentric Infinity also having those 3 kills. They're looking really strong. And TRZ, again, being the survival kings out there. How long are they going to survive in this match? So we will have to see that. But Trickster, of course, getting any kind of loot that he can get, any kind of utility that will help his cause. But Kapshi, he's the danger man, and in such a close range, he has got the balls to really play with his AWM. Now Evil Eye, he's got his eyes onto its players of Immortal X. And Gremlin Storm, they have really split out very, very nicely. Now Badrev is actually making that push. Marcus might just have spotted him out, but he's not making any kind of noise. He's not even healing, for Christ's sake. Now Machine, that grenade being lobbed in thin air, well, does touch onto its Marcus though, but is it gonna explode right on his face? No is the answer, as Machine still trying to figure out his rotation. Now they've backed off a bit, but no, Gremlin Storm want to play this pretty safe because Evil Eye is completely looking elsewhere. Now the smokes have been deployed. Marcus, he wants to relocate himself from over around here, but TRZ having the center of the circle, this looks really promising with all those kills that they're getting for themselves. They've increased the counter, and Kapshi taking a few shots elsewhere, not really connecting. The shots going into the thin air, but SLX Agent, he's right out in the open. And the moment the smoke dissipates, he's going to be in a whole world of trouble.
Well, he has to face the AWM shots coming in from Kapshi, and can he survive those AWM shots is going to the main question. But right now, M4 Esports is in a bit of trouble because Accelerate has already been taken down by Machine and M4 Esports. Why are they not deploying the grenades? They did deploy some grenades, but they were not enough to take Machine down. On the other hand, the players of Team Excellent Esports are also falling down, and M4 Esports, they are pinned down besides the rock, and this is the moment GSM will make the push towards them, and it's an easy way they can easily eliminate M4 Esports because one player has been taken down. It's just the last solo player, and he has also been taken down. And GSM finally getting that confidence, taking on multiple fights and eliminating squad after squad. Badrev being at a domination spree with 3 kills, and M4 Esports just 2 points at 10th position.
Yeah, they're looking really bad at this particular position, and they've got eliminated, of course. And well, Gremlin Storm getting 6 points again on the top, having all their players alive. But what we do see is the players of TRZ just peppering down those bullets up until the point that Careless has also fallen. And now, well, Groot walking right in the open. Where is he going? And he also falls short to its White Cat, who gets another beautiful knock. Now this is looking disastrous for the players of IM, and players are falling to the play zone. The confirmation, of course, coming to White Cat, and suddenly they were just 1 kill, at 1 kill in fact a minute ago. Now they are sitting at 5. Now completely holding on to the Hashi and the compound. They've got the Neem, who's really close. They also would want to take that kill for themselves. And yes, they in fact have it. Now TRZ, suddenly they are looking really good. 7 kills already. One of their players knocked out. And Kapshi getting knocks left, right and center. This time on the big man, that's C Minor.
C Minor has been taken down. TRZ again being the lucky one, find themselves at a very good position, but now zone has shifted and they have to move inside the zone. But with that, IPG has also been eliminated at 7th position with 3 kills to their name. Anaconda has to go in for the revival onto his teammate, that is Rare. But on the other hand, the team that could be pushing in towards them could be the last player of Team GR Electrify, that is Creon San. And yes, he has to come towards the players of TRZ. Can he take the player down? And because Mamba is shooting in his direction, and somehow Creon San survive, but it's a 1v3 situation, and he has to move inside the zone also. It's not going to be so easy as he has been taken down by Rare of TRZ. On the other hand, Shuvasar of Team GR Electrify is shooting some bullets in the direction of the players of A1 Esports as he manages to pick off one of the player. Can he pick off the second one? And he has the beautiful single tap shots coming in from M416. Takes another player of A1 Esports down, but now Shuvasar is taking damage from somewhere else. He needs to pop in that first aid as soon as possible, otherwise he will be a dead man. His teammate Diptor is trying to provide the perfect backup that he needs right now. And Team Eccentric Electrify, can they make a good comeback in this match?
Well, we certainly have to see Eccentric in a whole world of trouble, but they still somehow have the circle to themselves, with IM also making the move over there. Well, Stranger being knocked out. Now Mr. Red, can he get a hand on Squeezer? No, he does not, as Squeezer will knock him out of the park. And now Mamba going in for the instant revive because he also knows that they have to get inside the circle. With Gremlin Storm now making their move, this is a clear sign where they can take their hands onto its them. But Mamba finally getting that revive onto it. Mr. Red instantly getting the confirmation, backing off, and the Soldier in fact are taking down Badrev. And A1 Esports 1952 find themselves in a very promising position. Now where do they go from here? Gremlin Storm need to rotate inside the circle. They need to make it quick. Badrev is already down. Kapshi's already been eliminated. It all comes down to Evil Eye and Machine to do the remainder of the job.
Well, they will have to do the remaining job. 7 kills strong. They are looking, but White Cat has been picked off by the players of Team Epsilon Esports. Now it all comes down to Anaconda and Mamba. Will they go in for the revival? And from the looks of it, they are going in for the revival. And this is going to be very crucial. On the other hand, the players of Team Eccentric Infinity are also going in for the revival onto their teammates. And Anaconda is trying to confirm those kills also, but he will be backed up by his teammate Mamba. And they also have to be careful of the position of A1 Esports. And with that, Machine has been picked up by players of A1 Esports, and A1 Esports just barging into the area territory of the players of Team TRZ. But thanks to that smoke, the smokes that has been deployed, TRZ are inside a safe cover. And let's see how this fight is going to turn out. Rare is keeping eyes onto the players of Eccentric Infinity, but from the back lines, A1 Esports can do a perfect third party.
Yeah, that they can certainly do, but TRZ, they are having the bigger guns over here. They are having the control of the situation despite being outside the zone. Now one shot with that beautiful grenade lobbed into thin air. Is it going to connect though? No is going to be the answer. The second one, however, does. And well, with that, Eccentric Infinity by the dust. They are finally eliminated as we are reduced to our last final two teams. A1 Esports or TRZ. Both these teams are doing pretty well. But who is going to come out as the winner? Because the nades, the Molotovs, they're all coming in. Mamba somehow struggling, somehow surviving in the shroud of smoke that he has. But with all those grenades coming on towards him, how does he defend himself? This is where Anaconda needs to make the move for himself. But no, he's also completely restricted. Now A1 Esports doing a pretty decent job at isolating the players and now making a push. Magnet leading the charge. Mamba, I believe he has been spotted. But when are the shots coming out? The shots finally being taken, but Mamba somehow manages to dodge it out. Now he shows his head. He's gonna get punished for that. But Anaconda from the backlines, he's providing the perfect cover fire. Now C Minor and Mamba still in a skirmish over here as the fight is still going on. Mr. Rare from the backlines, he needs to make some kind of a move happen from the right hand side at least, but he's not doing that. Now he's made a move, he's gone aggressive, but he's right out in the open. White Cat falling down to Mr. Rare. That opens up a lot of things for A1 Esports as they are looking really dominated. C Minor has already gotten out. One shot already goes down, and with that, TRZ have finally secured themselves yet another chicken dinner.
Well, yes, second time, this time TRZ is coming at the top with this time 30 points to their name, and look at the amount of kills, 15 kills. And total damage dished out is 2,261. But the TRZ, this team, if we talk about, their zone prediction is always on point. They are reading zone perfectly. They always find themselves at a best position inside the zone, and they do manage to capitalize also on it.
I mean, at this time, at this moment, nobody would have expected TRZ. You know, this is a team that has been playing under the shadows. You know, they've not been that too much flashy. They've not been too visible, but they always tend to survive. But this time with 15 kills, 30 points at a time like this, wow. And where do they go from here though? Because A1 Esports, they've got a pretty good game.
Yeah.
Now they're pretty much going on top. Now, the thing with Gremlin Storm, they had decent amount of kills, they had decent amount of positioning, but I'm still pretty sure that A1 Esports will have that lead for themselves. But now, we'll take a look at the MVP of this particular game and see which is that one player. And Mr. Rare from the back lines, in fact, from the Rare, did take down so many kills. 7 kills, in fact, coming out for this lad. And Shadow, if you remember, there was this moment, I think towards the end of the 6th circle, they just had 1 kill.
Yeah, they were
got
so
14
silent. They were so silent, and that is TRZ. They just give priority to the zone. They make sure they are at a best position, and that was what was happening. They were so silent, and when they started taking fights, no one was able to stop them.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think the only thorn they had and the only trouble they had with from the players of Eccentric Infinity over there, because with the way they were positioned, but they were also dealt with. Of course, fire coming out from all different sides, and at the end of the day, TRZ is somehow maintaining that good position that they had. For a moment, I really thought that the positioning is really off. But that's when they got those 2 quick kills in succession, which of course we could not get a glimpse at. But I believe that's where the fight started changing. And one shot falling down, that's when hell broke loose for A1 Esports. They were just restricted to 1 player. But now let's take a look at the top players, the other players in the lobby who are playing phenomenally well. And well, we'll have to start off with Shuvo, followed by White Cat, Magnet, and of course, beautiful lad, the Doge.
Well, Diptoj is definitely there. Magnet is there. White Cat, in fact, this is also a player who is shining from the team TRZ, although he has got 2 kills. But look at the amount of damage that he has been dishing out. That is 948. That means he has been helping out his teammates a lot by giving enemy a lot of damage. But I think A1 Esports, now when they will go back and look at the game, they will realize that instead of taking fight with the players of Eccentric Infinity, if they had rushed in towards the player of TRZ, maybe things would have changed because TRZ was already engaging in a fight with them.
Yeah, of course, that could have been the possibility. But I really liked when the final fight erupted. I really liked the movement from A1 Esports.
Yeah.
You know, they decided to isolate Mamba, and they knew the other players were really on the back lines. But that is when Mamba was really buying enough time. And we did see Anaconda from the backlines. He was also providing that cover fire, not really letting the players of A1 Esports do whatever on earth they want to. They completely stopped them over there. And after that, they just came in right on them and engulfed them like an amoeba. But with that being said, let's take a look at the match summary and see how the teams have performed in this particular game. And 181 smokes and grenades. I'm not complaining, it's a good number. But 76 knocks, out of which 57 kills. Well, that's Miramar for you on a silver platter.
Yeah, that's Miramar, and yes, players were getting revivals again and again. That is also going to be one of the reason. And total airdrops looted are going to be 2. 4 grenade kills expected, but this is quite high number considering it's Miramar. That's quite high number. 4 grenade kills, no complaint about that. And 0 vehicle kills, we are used to seeing that.
we are used to, but we wouldn't mind a vehicle kill or 2 though. We enjoy those occasions. But one team is really enjoying themselves, that is TRZ. And I mean, imagine just from this one game, they go on top. This would be a dream fulfilled. And well, we know all the remainder of the teams. We know Venom Legends, we know Gremlin Storm, we know A1 Esports. 1952, of course, the second lineup of A1 Esports. Now, since the first one is, of course, busy in the GC, but TRZ coming out of nowhere, impressing everybody. And of course, they do have my respect for being the most consistent team. But now let's take a look at the standings and see where these teams are in this particular match, in the match number 14 of Miramar.
Well, 10-point difference. TRZ at the top with 30 points. A1 Esports 1952 with 20 points. That's quite a lead TRZ will be taking in the leaderboard. And if we talk about Eccentric Infinity, again having a good game, 7 kills to their name, that total 17 points. GSM not having a bad game at all, 15 points to their name, 7 kills out of which GR Electrify also having 9 points, sitting at the 5th position. Immortal X at 6th position with 6 points and no kill point. Immortal X, this was also a team that I thought will outshine considering the way they were performing in the first day, but they failed to continue it. And SLX Alpha tried to do a comeback, but again ending up at 8th position with just 4 points to their name.
Yeah, and now this is where things are looking really downhill for Venom Legends. I mean, this is not the position where you're supposed to secure 1 point. At least they could have gotten 10 points to still be in the race. Now, one more good game by all these top 3 teams, because look at the top 4, top 5 teams that are competing in every single lobby. It's the same teams again. Now, Venom Legends is missing out on all that action. Now they have to find themselves back in. Rafat needs to really go aggressive. He needs to get those perfect cover fire from his teammates. We did see the last player, Steel Shot. He was just surrounded from every possible angle, and he just had a one thin tree and the smokes around him. That was all that was saving him. This is not how we are accustomed to see Venom Legends. That is not a desperate situation that we are really, we're not really getting to see them at every single day. But with that being said, where do they go from here? Let's take a look at the leaderboard and see how much things have changed in our overall leaderboard. And there you go, A1 Esports still reigning supreme, but TRZ have managed to clinch that second spot, but just 1 point shy. Not far behind is Gremlin Storm, but Venom Legends, this is where the disparity comes in. This is where the difference comes in. 152 points with just 4 more games remaining. Can they make a comeback?
Well, they certainly have to, because from the looks of it, they are becoming GSM of day 1. And if you remember, till last matchup yesterday, Venom Legends and A1 Esports, they both had 149 points. So Venom Legends should have known that every single point is going to matter, and the way they are playing, things are not going good for them. On the other hand, if we talk about Venom Secret, we had high hopes from this team also, but right now they are at the second page of the leaderboard. In fact, XOSS official also are at 9th position with 87 points. SLX Alpha has stepped up a little bit, but not enough to find themselves at the first page of leaderboard, are at 13th position with 71 points, followed by TRZ Esports with 69 points.
Yeah. Well, we can disregard these teams for now. They've got no chance anymore to making a comeback. But there is a chance for all of you guys at least to win one iPhone 12. I'm talking about the giveaway that we have in store for you. Of course, along with those 8 TRZ gift cards. What you have to do, we might sound like broken records over here, but you have to subscribe to the channel. I believe you've already done that. You have to like the stream, of course, and in the chat, you have to spam hashtag PUBGMOBILE, hashtag PMCC, along with your character ID and the in-game name, whatever that may be. For mates fixes, you could just type your name, of course your character ID, and then your name, and winners will be chosen randomly after the end of the day. Of course, we'll have the winners of our Grand Finals. Someone will, of course, walk away with that 6 lakh Bangladeshi takas. But imagine the fact, you are almost getting 1/6 of the total prize pool without even playing a game. Now that's something for you guys, but right now what we are going to do is take a short little break. We will be right back. You just stay tuned.
Hello everyone, my name is Oshin Sharma and we are out here for PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh interview sessions. We have talked to a few teams. We have known about what they are good at, what they are kind of bad at. But still, now we're going to be talking about a team that has been dominating onto the quarters and semis, and now they are making their way through the finals. So I'm talking about TRZ Esports. So guys, welcome to this interview session, and before we just start off with anything, why don't you guys just start off by an introduction of your own selves?
Hello, myself Pranjal Pal Chaudhary, and my in-game name is TRZ Whitecat, and I play a role of IGL and scouting mainly.
Hello, my name is MD Meftauddin Nishan, and my in-game name is TRZ Mr. Rare, and my role is assaulting and scout.
My name is Mohammad Anisuddin Ahman, and my in-game name is TRZ Mamba, and I am the entry fragger of the team.
Hello everyone, my name is MD Mahdi Hassan Mehdi. My in-game name is TRZ Anaconda, and my role is a support for the team.
Alright, so if you want to tell me, how was the team formed alongside this?
The team was formed like 3 months ago, and I was playing from like Axis of Emperors. It's a team in Bangladesh, so it was not working out with them. So I shifted to Team Red Zone Esports.
Pranjal, now moving to you, as you are the IGL for the team, do you sometimes feel pressure with this team, giving out the calls, going for the rotations and all those things? What happens in the pressure situations?
No, I never faced that kind of situation. I never take pressure, and that's why my team is doing well in semi-finals, and now we're in the finals. I never feel pressure for that.
Now, Mefta, moving on to you for the next question. Just we talked about the pressures and all those things. So, what different are you doing in the finals as compared to the semi-final and quarterfinals that you think is helping you?
Basically, we are playing for our normal game. We play before lots of tournament or quarterfinal, semi-final, and we play like as a normal game we played before. No pressure or nothing.
Mehdi, my next question is going to be to you. What changed? What do you think changed in your team as compared to in semi-finals, as you say in quarterfinals? What was the difference that you were seeing in your own team?
In our team, our rotations was different, like quarter and semi-finals, and we are confident in our game.
Well, Pranjal, what are your expectations from the finals? What personally are you expecting with the team for the finals?
Like my team played the semi-finals, they were performing that they're performing in semi-finals. I think that we will conquer the final. We'll take the first position in final. They are performing so good in semi-finals, and if they perform like semi-finals, we will achieve the first position in final. I hope that.
How do you what is your practice schedule? I'm talking about training grounds, I'm talking about some scrims, I'm talking about all those things. So what is your training schedule with the team?
So after I wake up, I need to practice for 2 or 3 hours. So as I can get a good grip in my device and a good mindset. And I also need to play some classics to understand my layout, or for the muscle memory actually.
So now, Mefta, coming to you for another question. Just like, we talked about the practice schedules, we talked about how the team's going to perform. But what happens, all right, so right now it's just the interview. After this, you'll be playing matches and all. How do you focus on the matches? Like, what happens when you're in the game, in the mindset?
সাধারণত আমার টিমের রোল ফিল্টার, সো আমি অল টাইম ট্রাই করি যে আমার টিমের যদি কোনো ভুল কল আসে বা এক্সট্রা কোনো কল দিতে পারি যেটাতে আমার টিম আরো বেটার পারফর্ম করবে আর এনিথিং লাইক দ্যাট, সো আই উইল গো উইথ দ্যাট এন্ড আই থিংক ইটস এনাফ ফর এ টিম।
Now, is there any message from all of you guys? Like, if anyone wants to give a message to all your fans, all your families, all your friends, the supporters, the community, if there's something.
অ্যাকচুয়ালি ফার্স্ট টাইম যেটা বলবো সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের ফ্যান্স, ফ্যামিলি মেম্বার্স, তাদের অনেকের আমাদের নিয়ে অনেক কিছু আশা আছে, ভরসা আছে, যেটা আর কি অনেক দিন থেকেই আমি অনেক প্রায় 2 বছর হয়ে গেছে আমরা পাবজি খেলতেছি, আমরা এখন ওই লেভেলের কোনো পারফর্ম করতে পারিনি ইন্টারন্যাশনাল লেভেলে। সো আমাদের সবার আগে আমাদের সবচেয়ে বড় আশা হচ্ছে আমরা কোনো ইন্টারন্যাশনাল লেভেলে পারফর্ম করবো, লাইক PMGC, PMPL। সো প্রথম থেকে তারা যেভাবে আমাদের সাপোর্ট করছে, হোপফুলি তারা আমাদের শেষ পর্যন্ত সাপোর্ট করবে এবং তাদের সাপোর্টের মাধ্যমে আমরা আশা করি কোনো গ্লোবাল স্টেজে আমরা খেলতে পারবো।
That's true, and you guys are actually, showcasing your capabilities. The red zone is out there, and probably it's one step closer to the competition, to the championship. And I just wish you guys all the best. I'll see you around.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh Edition. My name is Shadow, and along with me is my co-caster Phoenix Shivansh. And Shivansh, now that only 4 games are remaining, and Venom Legends stepping down, not able to perform at this stage, and with just 4 matches in their hands, what do you have to think?
I just want to tell you one thing, that at this moment, right now, Venom Legends are kind of struggling a lot, right? Because they're just like playing the same game as GSM played in the day 1 of the Grand Finals. But the good thing for GSM is they just stepped up their game and are so good. 17 kills with a chicken dinner is not an easy task.
Well, it is not an easy task, and we are left with only 4 matches. Every match is gonna count, and with that, our next match has already started. And let's see. Let's just head straight into the game and see where the plane path is taking us. And it is going all the way from military base area towards Georgopol area.
Yep, this is your pilot Phoenix Shivansh is speaking, and you can see the plane is going from the military base area towards the Georgopol area. On the right, you have Farm, Pochinki School, and Rozhok. On the left, you have Premosk, Gori, as well as Gatka. So the teams like Cyko, TRZ, they're going to be a little bit quite happy because they can go to their favorable position. We know that Cyko, their favorite spot is military area, so they can go there, just collect some loot, and after that they can just focus on their rotations.
Well, they can certainly focus on their rotation, but if we talk about zone, the main factor over here is going to be the zone, that where the zone is going to shift, because last match it was kind of a Gatka area or a quarry, western side of quarry area zone, so teams have to be careful. And TRZ, being the best zone prediction with the zone prediction, always find themselves at a good position, again heading towards Primorsk area. IPG is again going towards Novorupnoy. GSM again going back to the normal drop location, Georgopol area, but this time they are not going to the solo team. They might find themselves an enemy who is already dropped in there, but from the looks of it, A1 Esports has decided to go and move towards North Georgopol, not Georgia City. So maybe GSM will be the only team at the Georgopol city area or the container area.
And they are going to be quite happy because in the early stages, you don't need to engage in some fight. Sometimes you just have to play a little bit passive. But GSM, they're not no longer that same team. If we talk about, if we're going to compare them from the first day till today, because they just stepped up a lot. And look at the position of IPG. They are just started their looting towards on the area of Novorupnoy.
Well, it's the start of the game. All the teams will try and loot around their area. Be comfortable, check the waters, because we are left with only 4 games. And after this match, only 3 games. So every single point is going to matter, because till yesterday, Venom Legends and A1 Esports were at almost had a similar points, 149 points. And now things have changed drastically for both the teams, and GSM is also trying to do a comeback. They want to take that top 1 position. So every single point is going to matter. No team, no player is here going to make any mistake or take any risk. They want to have the best loot, best position inside the zone, and that is going to the main target of every team. And with target, I want to see some targeting also. That is not happening.
Yeah, that is not happening because you know what? If we talk about M4 Esports, they are done because they're struggling from last day, I can say from the first day of the grand final. They're still on the bottom of the leaderboard, and that's why I think so they just lost their hopes. But they are playing their natural gameplay, which is the best thing. And if we talk about Gremlin Storm, they are on the 3rd position with total 170 points, and the total damage is 17,814 with 72 total kills. It's a really huge amount. And right now, we're just witnessing one player of EPSILON Esports, who is Trickster. EPSILON Esports, they are on the 14th position and they only got 46 kills.
Well, they have got 46 kills. We'll come back to it. And another player of EPSILON Esports has been picked up by Alpha49 of Team XOSS Official. But Alpha49 is getting shots from somewhere else, and he has been picked up by OV EPSILON Esports. What a perfect backup coming in, cover fire coming in from that player. And let's see, Taneem and Trickster. Trickster might want to go in for the revival onto his teammate, and he need to deploy some smokes. But I believe he's a little short on the smokes. He has a vehicle cover, but he need to be careful. And revival will be done on the other hand. If you talk about XOSS Official, they are not in a good position because Alpha49 has been picked up again. And now Trickster also falls down through the hands of Sleepyhead, and Sleepyhead picks off Peter also. And EPSILON Esports, who are looking quite good, are not looking quite good at all right now because they have been reduced to just 1-man squad.
Yep, and XOSS Official, they are looking quite big because they already got 2 kills, and he's going to confirm that kill, but unfortunately Trickster just got knocked out, and Taneem is there to revive his teammate, and he's punching down that opponent. And why? You killed my teammates. Why? I need answer, or otherwise I need your carry.
Ouch. That hurts. But it's okay. You can do anything. You are a shot on ammo. They have just dropped it. On the other hand, Paradox also gets taken down. That was a little mistake in the his aim or shots going towards the players of EPSILON Esports. But EPSILON Esports has also suffered casualty. They have lost 2 of their crucial players. And with that, our first team has already been eliminated.
Yeah, I thought EPSILON Esports were in trouble. But no, the opposite just happened.
This is EPSILON Esports. They know how to turn things around.
Yeah, I know. They were like, I love this team because they come up with something different in every single match. Right now, I just want to talk about this team, SLX Alpha. They are on the 14th position right now with 32 kills. Total damage is 6,044 with 71 total points. The good thing is they got 1 chicken dinner, and the bad thing is only 1 chicken dinner.
Well, only 1 chicken dinner, and they are at the bottom. SLX Alpha, we had high hopes the way they were performing yesterday in the 2 matches. We thought they could do something like GSM did, but that's where the experience comes in. GSM has got enough experience to do a comeback, but SLX Alpha, they failed to do it. They failed to continue the lead they started having. I expected them, if they continue that momentum, they would have been at the first page of the leaderboard, but right now they are at the bottom. And if we talk about GR Electrify also, this team is also trying to perform really well. If we talk about their stats, 58 kills to their name, total points 103, and they are at the 7th position. Not bad at all. Total damage 13,415. That's quite high damage. And if we talk about this team also, they are not outshining. But they are not having too many bad games also. Obviously, they are not as consistent as TRZ, but they are quite consistent. But KSX, this team is showing some improvement and aggression.
This team is showing some improvement and aggression as well from the past 2 days. But the main thing is they are on the 6th position. They got 110 points. But if we're going to compare the total points from the 1st position, from 6th position, there's a difference between 66 points. So you have only 4 games left. You have to do something. Otherwise, you're gonna be on the same position, 5th or 6th. But yeah, you're getting good amount of money, which is a quite good thing, and you're just showing the perfect aggression, and I like that.
Well, KSX, we all like it because this team is performing really good. If we talk about the kill factors only, the kill department, they are leading the charge. They have a good amount of kills in their hands, but they lack on the position points. But on the other hand, if we talk about Team Cyko, had the 10th position. They had one good match yesterday, or maybe 2 good matches yesterday in the Erangel. But other than that, they have not been having the best of the days. If we talk about the total kills, that's 24, not a very high number. Total damage also that they have dished out is 7,379. Not a very good stat coming in from this team. When they played that Erangel, that was the moment we thought they would be doing a comeback also. But the team that is playing good is going to be EXENTRIC Infinity at 5th position.
I'm not surprised that they got that 5th position, because they're showing consistent performance, and that what you need to be on the top 5, and they're going to be quite happy because they got 130 points, but one small mistake can cost you a lot. Right now, just look at the position of the zone. It's just covering almost 15% of the water areas and 85% of the land, and there's not a single team on the Primorsk area. So maybe TRZ got something new, or maybe they're just planning something different, that they're just gonna loot at the quarry side, then get back to the Primorsk to Primorsk side.
Yeah, to Primorsk area. And another team which is trying something new is going to the plus of GSM, who tries to play at the edges of the zone. Right now find themselves at the center of the zone, and the team that is moving in towards the compound area is going to a plus of Immortal X. Let's see how that fight is going to turn out. M4 Esports is also in the close vicinity. There is a possibility of a third party. And if we talk about this particular zone, teams, last match also, it was kind of a similar zone, so teams would have studied. They know how to do the rotations, but look at the traffic that is coming in from the ruins area. Even Esports is there, the plus of Immortal Esports is there, and with that we have a first drop and a beast gun, god gun,
with a level 3 kit and a 8x scope. And I just want to tell you one thing, that if you just have a look at the map towards the Gatka area, there are a huge amount. I can say I can count 4 teams over there, and if any single team gonna find any single player of opponent team, they just need to get that kill. They're gonna try their level best to get that kill. But right now, iMMORTAL is just driving his UAV and moving forward towards another area, because Crayon Sand of GR ELECTRIFY spotted down some players, and he knows. It seems he knows the location of the player, and giving all the info to his teammates where they are, and trying to knock him down, but not a single shot.
Well, shots are not connecting. He did manage to connect few of the bullets, and XLR8 is a little low on HP. He's just waiting for one peek coming in from XLR8, but XLR8 is being backed up by Marcos. But Crayon San being the smarter one, no, there are 2 players, and he has definitely dished out a lot of damage onto Marcos. Okay, if we talk about this particular player, Crayon San, he has been outshining from very first day of the tournament. Yeah. He has been in the top players time and time again. So we have high hopes from this particular team. But if we talk about M4 Esports, this team, Phoenix, is right now at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Yeah, as I told you earlier, that they're still right now they're just focusing on their natural gameplay, but their downfall is somewhere good for some another team, right? Are you able to understand what I'm trying to say? That if the team GR ELECTRIFY gonna collect these 4 kills, this is going to help them a lot in the further stages of the match.
Well, it is definitely going to help them, but M4 Esports, they need to step up. They are at the bottom. In fact, M4 Esports has got nothing to lose. They are at the bottom of the table. They can go all aggressive. We want to see the aggression coming in from the players, especially me. I want to see that aggression coming in from all the teams who are at the bottom, SLX Alpha, M4 Esports. But right now, Venom Secret, Shoaib, has been picked up by Diptor of Team EXENTRIC Infinity, and with that is not going to go down well with that, because Venom Secret is also not at the top of the leaderboard. And coming back to the point, I want M4 Esports to show some aggression. SLX Alpha also, they can do it. We have seen SLX Alpha do it time and time. Twice, not time and time again, twice we have seen them do it. So this is their moment. They have got nothing to lose. Just take an initial knock and go all YOLO.
Yeah, go all YOLO. Just maybe you're gonna win that fight. It depends how you're gonna just just pass the info to your teammates that where are the other players from. We just have to throw the grenade to get a free knock. But right now, the fight has just got a little bit slowed down because not a single player just not initiating fight. I don't know what just happened. They don't want to waste any single bullet.
Well, they don't want to make any mistake. GR Electrify has got a lot to lose because they are not at the bottom. So they don't want to make any mistake. They are still waiting for the players of M4 Esports to make any mistake or come out in the open so that they can get the initial opening. Because for the players of GR Electrify to rush into the compound of M4 Esports, they have an open area. But right now, both of the teams have decided to disengage from this fight and just walk on their own paths. But one of the player, Creon Sand, has already started making their move. But one player, Robotics, is still holding on to the compound, but he has got his own vehicle. They have got their own vehicles, and now both the teams have decided to just move away and go towards the zone or hold on to a better positioning, so that is gonna a position that is gonna help them in the later stage of the match.
Yep, a position that is gonna help them in the later stage of the match. And Creon Sand, he has been doing great till now. He spotted down one player. Can he knock him down? Trying to spray some shots, but not a single shot connected. So the thing is, he spotted out one more buggy on the mountain, but it was so far away that he could not able to see who is inside that buggy.
Well, he has got a Bison in his hand, but we'll come to it. Spidey, on the other hand, has been taken down by steel shot of Venom Legends, and Miraz takes another player of Infernal Parasite. XOSS has already been eliminated from the lobby because of that vehicle explosion coming in. KSX being an aggressive team, they know how to kill them and have already managed to get one kill in their favor. On the other end, Marcos has been picked up by Venom Legends as is Rafat over there and has already been eliminated as Rafat gets a confirmation. And M4 Esports, things are not going good with this team because in rotation they have already been picked off. But GR Electrify, if we talk about this team also, Creon Sand, he is a little low on HP. He has spotted down the enemies, but Jackpot spotted down one of the player of team GR Electrify and tries to take him down. Can he get the confirmation? Also, that is going to the main question, but right now he's popping in some grenades in the direction of the players of GR Electrify. And can he take Lord OP down? He needs some smoke cover. He's deploying the smoke covers because he's the solo player. It's a 1v3 situation.
It's the 1v3 situation, and he is running for his life right now. And just popping down some smoke's gonna help him a lot so that he can just make an extra cover. And I think so. He just want to stay inside the safe zone, in the center area of the safe zone, and we can just see only Venom Legends. They got 2 kills. KSX got 1 kill, as well as EXENTRIC Infinity also got 1 kill. Every single player just got a lie. But M4 Esports, they're still struggling. KS Meraz, this player is really insane. He spotted down 1 player, Nightwing. So he was in a cover. The main thing is Meraz want to confirm that kill, but could not able to.
Well, he certainly can't do that because Nightwing has a good cover to himself on his team. It is also there to provide him the revive that he needs. But Mehraz still trying on the other end. Grace Sand with that Bison gets a knock onto Taneem of EPSILON Esports. And Taneem is the solo player in that area. But no, he is there. Being the silent one, takes one of the player down. But he himself gets taken down. And with that, EPSILON Esports has been eliminated. But with good amount of kills. That is 4 kills to their name. And... but will that be enough? Because they are at the bottom of the leaderboard.
Basically, they had a great outing, but you know what? Now they have only 3 games, so they can do some experiment. So yeah, right now those experiments are now not helping them out. But meanwhile, Steel Shot, he was down to only 10% HP, popping down a medkit, and Cyko Hitman just throwing some grenade toward the side of Void. Void got knocked out, and he got no choice. I think so. He just got finished sometime. But Hitman, Rafat, meanwhile, also he is on 40% HP.
Well, he's on 40% HP, and Venom Legends is at a very wrong territory because at one side they have got the players of Team Cyko, and on the other hand they have got the players of EXENTRIC Infinity. Also, how they are going to come out of the situation, as Void has already been eliminated, Nightwing has already been eliminated, and Venom Legends have been now reduced to 2-man squad. They have deployed enough smoke, but will that be enough for them to survive the 2 squads, especially the players of Team Cyko, who are shooting in their direction? Abir being the silent one, it's a matter of seconds. He will start popping in some grenades, or maybe he will just rely onto his gun and will rush in towards the players of Team Venom Legends. Steel Shot and SS Rafat are trying to be silent, and Abir tries to pop in some grenade. He has decided to pop in some grenades in their direction. Can he connect those grenades? He's going for another one as if misses the first one, but this time can he connect it onto steel shot? But no, it's going to be the answer because the grenade fell a little short, and the two players of Team Venom Legends still surviving, and Team Cyko has managed to get 2 kills in their favor. But Venom Legends, how will they do a comeback? Because they can't afford to have another bad match.
Yup, they cannot afford to have another Batman, and Jinpin are trying to spray down. He just spawns that card got burst, and yup, his wishes got fulfilled, but could not able to get knocked. Meanwhile, Hitman got knocked out, and Jinpin also takes some damage from somewhere. He don't know where, but still, now he's just popping down that one painkiller so that he can just boost up, and he don't want to waste his mid kit on small damage. And ABR still pinned down that one player of Venom Legends. Rafa, he is in a really bad situation.
Well, he is in a really bad situation. Team Cyko, if we talk about, have the height advantage, but M4 Esports also gets an early elimination again. And look at that. Team Cyko, they have the numbers advantage. Hitman or Chinpin might go in for the flank angles also and might try to take down Steel Shot or Rafat. In fact, Chinpin could be the one who can go in for the flank, or maybe Hitman also. So Venom Legends are at a very wrong position. There are 2 vehicles beside them, but one of them is already exploded. And I believe that Buggy has received some of the damage, so they don't even have the vehicle or the path to disengage or just move away from this particular position. And Team Cyko, being the smarter one, are not overcommitting to this fight, and this grenade could have been deadly. It was right near the Rafat, but somehow Rafat survived, and with that, one of the player of Team Cyko has already been knocked out. That is going to be Chinpin.
Yeah, that is going to be Chinpin. And oh, look at the position of GSM. They are on the edge of the map. The zone is not that far away. They can gatekeep for the teams who are outside the zone. They can kill even Esports as well as the player of TRZ. Venom, basically. Venom as well as Team Cyko. They can kill them very easily if they just have to gatekeep and get that high ground to your favor. But SLX, they are also engaging in some fights. But the main thing is, if you're engaging in some fight, get ready for the outcome.
Well, you have to be ready for the outcome, for the consequences, because it can go either ways. And Team Cyko has decided to give priority to the zone because they also have to step up in the leaderboard. But one of the players, Chinpin, is still holding on to his position. No, he's not holding. He has his own vehicle, and he also will be giving priority to zone, will move inside the zone. But now the problems of Venom Legends haven't ended. But on the other hand, Sharia of Venom Secret has been picked off. Well, let's see if he'll be eliminated or not. And TRZ taking shots in the direction of SLX Agent, takes SLX Agent down with that, and Agent is already down on his knees, but Rescue, I believe, will go in for the revival. On the other hand, Abir has been picked off of Team Cyko, and White Cat, being the smarter one, is trying to deploy some smokes to make a clear path so that he can rush into the compound area. On the other hand, Cursed has spotted down some of the player, and with that M16 he has been dishing out a lot of damage onto the players, but he has also been picked off. He is also receiving a shots from somewhere else from the players of Venom Secret.
Yeah, we also taking some damage right now. Curse in a bit of trouble. Just popped out that one smoke for an extra cover and a first aid kit. He's on a 75% health. But SLX, they are not stopping. But meanwhile, TRZ, they are one. Look at the position of White Cat. He is on a flank angle. Can this help the whole team out? Because they need some kills. The main thing is they are outside the zone. This is a good situation that if you're just engaging in a fight out of the zone, this is the 5th zone closing in.
This is the 5th zone closing in. KS is already engaging in a fight with multiple teams, and if they're being at a domination spree, but Team TRZ, they have to move inside the zone. Mama, you shouldn't have done that. He did deploy some smokes, but they were not enough to protect him. He has been picked off by Agent, and problems for TRZ are not ending over here because they have to move inside the zone. SLX is already at a position where they can easily, sneakily enter into the zone and create problems for the players of TRZ. On the other hand, Gods, look at the amount of smoke that the players of Team SLX have deployed. They have got themselves a good cover, and White Cat was spotted down, and with that Rescue being at the receiving end was taken down and will get an elimination also courtesy to the perfect cover fire that was coming in from Anaconda. And now TRZ this could be the opportunity to eliminate the SLZ, but they are receiving the play zone damage also as 2 of the players are already down on their knees. Can they make a comeback? Because Cursed of IPG is also shooting in their direction, and with that TRZ couldn't make it. The shots that were coming in their direction have been eliminated, and with that Cyko also, one player has been taken down by play zone.
Yep, and look at the kill point of SLX. But meanwhile, Evil Eye, he got knocked out, and Kapshi just throwing some grenades towards the side of Rafat. He don't know the location. Oh my God, 3 players got knocked out of the team Venom Legends. Oh my bad, Gremlin Storm, and they got eliminated on the 10th position. Rafat, he was on rampage. 5 kills and 4 kills from a single grenade. Oh my God.
That was a big mistake from GSM. All the players at the same position.
And Venom Legends, finally, they start bringing up some numbers, and I am happy. Meanwhile, Cyko, Chinpin, he just knocked out Mehfooz Whitey, spotted down one more player. Can he knock him down? Yep, he is successful, and he is doing great right now. He only got 1 kill. He's the last man surviving for his team, but he is getting some knocks, which is a great thing. And he's just hiding behind that rock right now. Just want to confirm that kill. He was dead a little bit more. Just fire some more shot. You're gonna get that kill right now. He's just running for his life because the blue zone is also closing in.
Well, blue zone is certainly closing in, and Chinpin also has to move inside the zone, but there are so many squads waiting for him, especially the players of Team KS are there. And he has definitely popped in some Molotov in their direction. That won't be enough to for him to survive. And with that, he has been eliminated. SLX also gets an early elimination. And Team Cyko has also been eliminated with 3 kills to their name. And if we talk about A1 Esports, they are looking pretty good as they eliminate one in the floor of IPG. That is going to be Miraz Whitey. And Chinpin was on a domination spree before he was taken down. 3 kills to his name.
And yep, meanwhile, I can see Heaven Whitey got 2 knocks from a single grenade. Meraz just knocked out Venom, player from Venom, and Rafat just burned that car down and confirmed that 1 kill for themselves. A huge amount of fight is going on. The 6th zone is closing in. We are down to only 6 team, and KSX, they are looking very promising. Meanwhile, IPG, Heaven Whitey, this team are down to 2 members. Yeah, they have 5 kills. Spotted out 1 more player. Want to confirm that kill. Cynix just putting his 100% effort so that he can confirm that kill. But Rafat, he got eliminated.
Well, he has been eliminated through the hands of Sanhok of Team KS. KS is not stopping. They are getting good amount of kills with that. Venom Legends also gets an elimination, but they have good amount of kills in their hands. And on the other hand, Sanhok is also on a domination spree kind of. And Eccentric Infinity also has been eliminated. And look at Tofik. He's at the center. He has deployed some smokes, which is going to reveal his position also. And Squeezer, being the smarter one, will deploy some grenades in his direction. Can Tofik survive these grenades? That is going to be the main question. And he did survive that grenade. But for how long? Because smokes are going to vanish, and that is when his position will be revealed. But this time he couldn't survive the grenade of Squeezer, and he has been already eliminated. With that, A1 Esports get elimination, and now we are reduced to 3 squads and 9 players.
Yeah, 9 players, and KSX, the whole squad is still alive. Ehsan just throwing some smoke so that he can help his own teammate. Miraz taking some damage, somehow find a cover. Ifti also spotted down. Okay, he just firing some random shots, now throwing a low toss smoke. And Ehsan, look at that safe position. Yep. Meanwhile, Ifti got a knock. Ehsan spotted down 1 more player. He got 1 more knock. That one player just hiding behind that tree. Ehsan wants to confirm that kill, and he was successful. But meanwhile, Ifti just eliminated the last player. Oh my God, the whole team just got eliminated by the play zone. Now we are down to only 2 teams. Miraz spotted down that 1 knocked player. Want to finish the whole team, but he's still fighting some random shots.
Well, it's a 1v4 situation, Phoenix. It's Heaven Whitey versus the whole squad of Team KSX. It's a matter of time. It is going in the hands of KSX, but Heaven Whitey, can he clutch it out? Can he? Because the players of Team KS are still looking for him. They don't know the exact location where Heaven Whitey is hiding. And Heaven Whitey has been eliminated. The minute he starts shooting, his locations get revealed, and with that, he gets elimination. And winner, chicken dinner again coming in from KSX. Well-deserved chicken dinner with 14 kills to their name and 29 points. And look at the damage that they have been dishing out. That is 2,614.
What a marvelous performance coming from the side of KS. Actually got 14 kills, and that was really insane. The main thing helped them out to just play on the edge, wait for other teams just coming inside the zone. They can gain key for them, and that what helped them a lot to get that chicken dinner. And how many points other team got?
Well, that is going to the question, how many points, but we'll get to it certainly. But first, let's have a look at which one player stood out in this particular game, the MVP of the match. Let's have a look at our MVP, and it is going to be Rafat, being the grenadier that he was. 7 kills to his name, total damage dished out is 914 and 1 assist. Okay, Rafat, very good grenades coming in, but very bad move coming in from the players of Team GSM.
Yep, they're just hiding behind that wall. They didn't expect Rafat was hiding there, and that was the main thing. That Rafat were just like he just the most venomous snake there. Lobbed 2 grenades at a time. He got one knock, he got another, and that last final grenade just eliminated the whole team of GSM. And that was, I think so, that was one of the baddest game I ever saw.
In fact, GSM, they knew their 3 players are down, and it is obvious when a player knocks you down through a grenade, he's going to pop in another grenade in the same position, and that was a mistake, and that's why GSM get eliminated. But let's see which other 4 players are followed by Rafat, which other 4 players are the top players, and look at that.
So we have 3 players of KSX and only 1 single player of Infernal Parasite, who is Heaven YT. But the main thing is KSX just played very amazingly in this match. They know what to do, but the zone just favored them a lot, because at the last zone they just hold that last compound who was inside the zone, and they got the height advantage as well. They just used that into their favor, and that's why they got chicken dinner. And this is really impressive, and they got almost 29 total points.
Well, they have themselves got 29 points, and in fact Heaven YT also was one of the player who was playing really good. He has got 2 kills, but he has been dishing out a lot of damage, that is 707. In the end, it was a 1v4 situation. Heaven YT couldn't do much in that particular situation. He couldn't go in for the revival also onto his teammate, because players were searching, players of KS were searching for him. But KS, this is going to boost their position, because they were struggling with the position points. They were getting the kill points, but this time they have gotten position points and the kill points.
And you know what, that GSM, they got eliminated on the 9th position. How many points they had?
We'll come to it, but let's first have a look at how many smokes and grenades were deployed. Look at the match summary, and 260 smokes and nades coming in. 60 knocks, out of which 53 kills confirmed.
And 12 headshot, one vehicle kill, 6 grenade kill, and 1 airdrop looted. I can still remember that 1 headshot from and I was reading that kill feed, and it's really insane. And 7 airdrop were looted and 12 headshots. It's really insane.
Well, that's the highest number of airdrop looted till now. But smokes and nades were also pretty high, 260, considering the players have to come out, come into the zone, especially the players holding on to that compound. So they had to cross the road. So much since the smokes were deployed. So it's quite a high number. That was quite expected. But 1 vehicle kill. Last match only we were talking about that we would love to see a vehicle kill, and we are having a vehicle kill.
Your wish is got fulfilled.
Yeah, wishes got fulfilled. KSX wishes got fulfilled. They were waiting for this chicken dinner, but GSM also had a good outing. Not that good of an outing, but Venom Legends. What is happening to this team? Because they can't afford to mess up even a single match, and now with that we are left with 3 matches only. And let's have a look at how many points Venom Legends have been able to get for themselves. Let's have a look at the standings.
And KSX is on the top, as we know. But I am just searching that one team. Okay, Venom Legends is on the 3rd position with 12 points, same as Even Esports also got 12 points, and Immortal X also getting that 12 points. Team Cyko, they were great, but the main thing is still the main cushion. They are still relying on the kill points.
Well, they are still relying on the kill points, and if we talk about Venom Legends and A1 Esports, both the teams have got 12 points. A1 Esports is already leading the chart, so Venom Legends needed more points. And from the looks of it, looks like A1 Esports would still be leading the chart, because I don't see GSM also. Maybe the players of GSM or the team GSM has also stepped on, because they had an early elimination and they just got themselves 3 points in this game. Venom Legends are going to be pretty happy, but GSM is not going to be happy about it.
Yeah, and GR ELECTRIFY, they also got only 3 points. And they were on the 5th position. But, and you know what? The main thing is M4 Esports, they're still on the last. They know that they're just playing their natural gameplay. they don't want to destroy any one gameplay, right? I just want to say that. Oh, maybe, in my personal opinion, they're playing a little bit passive.
Okay, maybe, but in fact TRZ also, if we talk about this team also, Phoenix, Venom Legends, I think this is favoring them because they got themselves 12 points, and the top two teams which were above them, TRZ Esports, they are also having an early elimination right now. They were at the bottom of the chart of this match standings. So let's see where they find themselves in the overall leaderboards, because I see some big changes in it, and A1 Esports is still leading.
A1 Esports is still leading, and Gremlin Esports is climbing up on the second position with 173 points. KS Axe also climbing up on the 5th position, and on the 7th position, Infernal Parasite also climbing up. But JR Electrify just stepped down on the 8th position with only 106 points. So they're also, I think so, they're just struggling.
They are struggling, and Venom Legends it is going to be a big challenge for this team also to step up, because look at the point difference between A1 Esports and Venom Legends. It's quite high a number, and it is increasing. But KS, they are stepping up, 139 points. On the other hand, if we talk about Venom Secret, they have stepped down to 12th position with 79 points. SLX Alpha, again, not being that impressive, which I hope. In fact, it's the only team who have gotten themselves one chicken dinner, and they are still at the second page of the leaderboard. XOSS Official at the 9th position. Immortal X are trying to step up with 87 points. So these are, in fact, EPSILON Esports. This team also, I thought they will make it to the first page of the leaderboard, but they are still at the bottom.
They're still at the bottom. The things are not going into their favor. But one main thing, A1 Esports, they're on the top. And they just played one less match compared to other teams. This shows that they are insane throughout the
Well, they are playing phenomenal, but another phenomenal thing is going to be that our viewers are going to get something. There is a giveaway that is happening, and what do you get in this giveaway? You have a chance to win an iPhone 12 and 8 Daraz gift cards. And how do you win this? Just subscribe to the channel PUBGMOBILE Bangladesh Official, like the live stream, and in the chat just spam #PUBGMOBILE, #PMCC along with your in-game character ID and in-game name, and one random winner will be picked off at the end of the stream. It's the last chance, last day for all the viewers to get their hands on this brand new iPhone 12.
They're going to be quite happy because one lucky winner going to get this iPhone 12, and maybe after getting that iPhone 12, he's gonna play some competitive, and one esports organization gonna select him, and after that, in future, when someone is taking his interview, like, I just want one iPhone while I'm watching the PMCC.
It could be a she, and she could be taking some selfies also. iPhone 12 is very good with the selfies also. You can do that. All the girls in the chat, all the boys in the chat, for any reason you can win it. But we'll be heading towards a short little break now, Phoenix. And you guys stay tuned, keep spamming in the chat, and we'll be right back.
Hello everyone, my name is Oshin Sharma, and so far PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh has been on a roll for domination, a roll for the last surviving member, last surviving team, and at the end, a roll to get that trophy, to get those bragging rights for themselves. Talking about a team that has already dominated previously and now is trying to look up to that marker again, we have Venom Legends with us, and we're going to be talking to all the players to ask them what they are thinking of this competition and end sports. So guys, before we just start off with everything, why don't you guys just introduce yourselves one by one?
Hey guys, I'm Rafat Siddiq. Our in-game name Venom Rafat, and our role হচ্ছে IGL এবং Enterprising.
Hello everyone, আমার নাম আদিত্য তালুকদার. Our in-game name Venom Nightwing. আমি Venom Legends এর support assaulter.
Hello guys, my name is Abu Ifran Arif. My in-game name is Venom Steel Shot, and my in-game role is support of Anti-Fragger.
All right, well, now if we're just moving on to you, Rafat, I have a question. Like, I already know this journey, but if you want to tell the audience, how was the team formed? What has been the journey of your team, and how is your team just, stronger than ever?
Well, আমাদের টিমটা পিএমসিসির আগে থেকেই ফর্ম করা, from since last PMPL. আমার সাথে আদিত্য ছিল, আর স্টিল শট পিএমপিএল এর পরে জয়েন করেছে আমাদের সাথে, আর বয়েরও পিএমপিএল এর পরে। তো রিলেটিভলি নিউ টিম আমাদের, বাট উই আর ডুইং গুড। আই থিঙ্ক পিএমসিসিতে আমরা ভালো কিছু করে দেখাবো সবার জন্য। থ্যাংক ইউ।
That is one thing that should keep you going and your team going. But see, now I'll be moving on to Steel Shot for the next question. Just as you know, we are just talking about all these things. Every team has their good games, their bad games, and all those things. What happens in the team discussions that just that helps you try and turn a bad game into a good game?
অ্যাকচুয়ালি লাইক এরকম মানে আমাদের ডিসকাশনে তেমন কিছু হয় না, জাস্ট রাফাত ভাই যে কিছু হয় নাই, জাস্ট গো ফর ইট, নাথিং মাচ।
Well, that's okay. But now, Rafa, just moving on to you are the agent of the team, right? Do you ever feel pressure in some of the situations, and if any, how do you cope up with that?
Well, always intense situational pressure to থাকবেই, but experience helps a lot. That's how we manage the pressure.
Yeah, well, that's true. Experience kind of helps you more and more to bloom and to shine and to bloom. And Nightwing, coming back to you for another question. See, I have seen your team play in the previous tournaments as well, just as we have seen. So how has that helped you in facing what I won't say new liners, but I would say the underdogs that are actually showcasing amazing talent?
So যেমন কি আগের বার রাফাত ভাই বললো, experience is a big thing, but PMCC এর ক্ষেত্রে আসলে the teams are new and we are not aware of their strategies, their rotations, their drops, and we will try our best to gather much information and play our normal game.
Yeah, let's just hope that your normal game, gets the best out of it, because it has already done that thing. But now, Steel Shot, moving back to you with one more question. Are there any teams, or is there any team, like one or many, which you feel are a really strong competition for you?
আই ডোন্ট থিঙ্ক সো, বাট মানে এখানে লাইক সব টিমই সমান ধরি আমরা, বিকজ লাইক সব টিমই তো ফাইনালে উঠছে, তাদের যোগ্যতা নিয়েই তো ফাইনালে উঠছে, তাই না? এখন তো আর এখানে প্রত্যেকটা টিমকে তো আর আন্ডার এস্টিমেট করা যাবে না। উই হ্যাভ টু প্লে আওয়ার নর্মাল গেম।
That's true. And Rafat, what separates your team from the other teams? Like if there's something that you would say keeps your team on the edge, is there something?
Well, the thing keeps us on edge is we want to go to PMGC. So that's our big target, and that motivates us.
Well, hopefully you guys will get that. But before we just, end up the segment right now, I have one really small, teeny tiny question for you guys. Words of wisdom. Anything you want to say to your supporters, your fans, your friends, your family? Anyone?
Yeah. তো আমাদের ফ্যানদের উদ্দেশ্যে বলতে চাই, তাদের সাপোর্ট সবসময় আমাদেরকে ইন্সপায়ার করে। তারা একটা বিগ পার্ট আমাদের এই কমিউনিটিতে, and always তাদের সাপোর্ট আমরা চাই। Keep supporting us, give us your love, and we'll try our best to impress you.
So guys, like আমার একটাই কথা, সাপোর্টাররা যারা আছেন তারা আমাদেরকে সাপোর্ট করতে থাকবেন, and we will try our best to get the first position. Let's hope for the best.
আর আমি যেটা বলতে চাইবো, and it's a really common thing. I just want to say that don't quit. Even if things get hard, keep on playing, keep on trying to be the best, and I hope you guys can play in this stage once.
Well, that's true. And hopefully, you guys will be one step closer to that trophy out there for PUBGMOBILE Campus Championship Bangladesh, and you guys will be showcasing that dominating performance that you guys are known for. I mean, talking about you players. So, all the best for all the future endeavors, and I will see you around.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final day, the Grand Finals, day number 3 of the PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, the Bangladesh edition. My name is Fixes, and alongside me is Shivansh. And well, we have our caster Shivansh, who is apparently very, very lucky for KSX.
Yup, because every single time when I cast KSX, they perform very well in that match.
We have caster's curse, but he is apparently, he's giving luck away to these teams. And now let's not wait any further and see how KSX make their comeback story for them as the game is live. Let's just head into the rainforest of Sanhok. While I'm sipping on my pina colada, Shivansh will take you with the flight path.
Okay, so this is your pilot, Mr. Phoenix Shivan. The flight path is just going from the western side of Tatmok towards the eastern side of Sahami. And right now, I can say this plane path is just dissecting the map into two halves. But the teams who just want to go at their favorite places, just like if any team want to go at Kampong, they can go very easily because this map is a little bit, compact as we compared.
Yeah, of course. No doubts at that. This being a 4x4 map, of course, you can go wherever on Earth you want to. But now, Gremlin Storm, the last game was certainly not good. And that really helped the players of Venom Legends kind of recover themselves up. Really close to Gremlin Storm and TRZ. But then again, we have A1 Esports who are amassing quite some lead for themselves, sitting at 188 points. Now, all they have to do is just calm their horses. They need to play a perfect game. But by the looks of it, they're not enjoying themselves because Magnet, I can see him. He's still taking that plunge. He's still finding out his area where he needs to drop and loot. But talking about fights right in the start, TRZ might just find themselves in a bit of a pickle as they are going against the players of XOSS.
And the first fight, the first fight is gonna break out after some time right now. Sleepyhead just taking that perfect use of that TPP angle, trying to spot some players, and right now he is inside the compound and he is in a very good position. Look at the position of Paradox. He just want to be a little bit safe. He's not moving. He don't want to give a single sound clue to his opponent, and I think so he just have one plan, that he has to give one secret surprise to his opponents.
Yeah, absolutely. But right now, XOSS, well, they're making the move. They need to get in, and TRZ just beside them. They're not making any noise. Yep. Now we have Anaconda, who is a perfect fit for the rainforest. But this time, it's the Asian rainforest, not the Amazon one we're talking about, where anacondas really thrive. We need someone like Mamba to step up, and well, he's done that in the past. He's done that in the past occasions. He has already impressed us and a lot. But XOSS officials, you can't really rule this team out. This is one beautiful team. Well, not having the kind of a tournament that they had anticipated after the first day. They were really good. They were in the top 3, and suddenly they find themselves in the bottom half of the table. Alpha 49, prone as ever, not making any movements. But I think a few gunshots were exchanged, and now the fight seemingly is about to start.
Yep, it's about to start, and Sleepyhead just thrown one stun grenade to just confirm that there's no player inside that compound. But the Mamba, he is very clever, not revealing his position, and I like this cheeky type of gameplay, this sneaky style of gameplay. And both the teams, they just landed on the Paradise Resort. If you talk about the loot, they can get a decent amount of loot, but they just have to finish this fight ASAP. Otherwise, the zone is gonna push them to just force them to take some fights. Deadman, he just popped one energy drink, but cursed. I can see him clearly. He just knocked out one player. Oh, Shoaib of Venom Secret, and he's finished him instantly. IPG, starting of the game is going very good for them because they already got one kill at the very early stage.
Yeah, he certainly has. Now, IPGX, they are finding themselves back in, and in the final games, whoa, that is a beautiful knock coming out from Cursed with his M16. He, of course, has spotted the other player as well. Can he get Cool Boy as he's going in for the confirmation? But he has reduced down Cool Boy, who's just proning in. Now he gets the kill of Ratul. But look at Cynics. He's making such a huge rotation. Now Venom Secret are about to meet the makers. But before that, Cool Boy spots out Cynics and ends him. But now he's in the receiving end of things. He's been knocked out. Now Shahryar is way too far from his teammate. He needs to go in over there, but just might be walking up to his death because we have Heaven already surrounding Cool Boy and gets the confirmation. Now Shahryar, of course, he has to retreat. He has to make a run for his life. He needs to survive to make sure that Venom Secret are still in the race, at least to make it to the top 8.
He is the last hope for his team, and oh, still the fight is not started yet, and we are not messing up the fight, and that's a great thing. Deadman, he is in a very great position. He can spot down some players easily. But the main thing is initiate the fight. We are just missing that that thing in the Sanhok map. We know that if you're talking about Sanhok map, this map is known for the early fights, some early engagements, and we are just missing that right now. Yeah, IPG just shown that how you have to play in Sanhok, but what happened to both the team, XOSS and TRZ? Both the teams are just playing a little bit passive.
Well, you know, these are the finals, and we are approaching to our final end games with just 2 games remaining after this. In fact, 3 if we include this one out. But none of the players, in fact, my apologies over there. So they're not making any movements. They're just sticking to their own position, waiting for their opponent to make some kind of a move, and I believe it has started with Sleepyhead taking a lot of damage, almost reduced to 20% HP. And now with that, if TRZ make a move, if they come out, in fact, they might just be in here for a heavy gunfight, because Alpha 49 looks really alarmed, looks really alert, but Sleepyhead recovering himself, healing himself back up, and now Alpha 49 trying to make that peak happen, but they're not overstepping. They're not over-aggressing, and this might just go either ways. Well, I would really suggest, I really want to see a fight erupting out. Anaconda, he is still hiding in plain sight, but Mr. Rare making that ballsy move takes down Paradox, but gets traded off instantly by Deadman. But that's where White Cat chimes in and gets that beautiful knock as the fight has finally begun. And with that being said, XOSS Alpha, well, he was the last player to be taken down, and XOSS official have been wiped out. In the meanwhile, we have another fight also erupting in front of our screens, where Team IM's Careless taking down Crayon Sand already, hammering down a lot of bullets onto its players of GR Electrify. How are they going to survive this? Can they get that revive onto their fallen teammate? That's the question over here.
That's one of the biggest questions, but I think that he can get the revive, because the players from his team, they're just giving him a perfect cover. Meanwhile, Stranger, just the whole team just marching towards GR Electrify, and they are looking in a bit of trouble because they just revealed their position, which is a bad thing. But yeah, they got a good compound. They can hold inside this compound for I can say a long time, because the zone is still favoring them.
Yeah, that certainly is. Now M4 Esports not having the kind of a tournament this time around. Well, we have Chinpin already down over there. Jackpot spraying down with his Uzi. He's out of bullets. He's instantly going in for that reload. But we do not see that overcommitment from his side, as he has to get that revive onto his fallen teammate, that's Spidey. And will he get in time though, because the revivals are coming in from both these sides. And now Team Cyko, they know that they have to engage in this fight. And Chinpin, without a helmet, is he going to go in? Is he going to open things up? Spidey healing himself up, but Jackpot taking a lot of damage. Now this is the time where they make that push as Spidey goes down. Marcus making the ballsy play, taking down one down, but falls down as Chinpin with a beautiful drop shot, and fights are happening elsewhere. But what on earth is Exelerite doing over there? He's supposed to provide cover fire, but somehow M4 Esports still surviving by the whiskers. Need to get that revive back onto it, Spidey. And by the looks of it, Team Cyko, well, they have been third-parted.
Yep, they have been third-parted, and they are not going to be quite happy, because this is a sad moment for them. But meanwhile, M4, they are down to 3 members. Yep, they didn't got a single kill. They knocked out 2 players, but could not able to confirm that. But meanwhile, Accelerate knocked down 1 player of A1 Esports, and he is just going in a flank position. Meanwhile, Jackpot just healing him up, applying some more boost up stuff, and drinking one more energy drink. And Spidey, he is ready for some fight, throwing a grenade. Maybe, oh, he cancelled it. Okay, he just cooking that grenade and then just throwing a random grenade. Maybe if this gonna work out for him. And oh, that was a little bit short. But yep, the thing is, even Esports, they reveal their position. They have to do something, otherwise they are going to be in a big trouble.
They certainly are. They certainly are. M4 Esports, well, but if they do some collateral damage, if they take down a player or 2 of A1 Esports 1952, then that might be a spoil spot to their tournament winning, because this team, they are leading the charts right now. All they have to do is garner enough points so that they can still maintain that top position that they have. And with the kind of kills they're taking, with the kind of aggression, I absolutely love it from the players of A1 Esports. Jackpot still trying to hold his ground, still trying to fight away. But there you go, Spidey being taken out. Team Cyko's Hitman from nowhere getting that beautiful knock onto it, Spidey. Now Jackpot has to revive his fallen teammate, but with that the push already coming in. And well, one shot will secure all those kills. And M4 Esports biting the dust yet again, being eliminated at the 14th position. Now they look like punching bags to me. Every other team is just coming down there and eliminating them, annihilating them, and getting those extra 4 points. But look at A1 Esports, the way they have started things off. 6 kills right from the start of the game.
Yep, and they are looking very, very confident. The main thing is they eliminated M4 Esports, and before that, they just steal 2 kills from M4 Esports as well, which is a good thing. A1 Esports, they are ready. But look at the position of Hitman. He is the last man for his team, and for how much time he can survive. He is very close to the safe zone. He's playing on the edge, but Badrev, he is coming into action. Kapsi got knocked out, Machine got knocked out, but Badrev, he has to do something. He has to do something, otherwise he is going to be in trouble. But look at the position of Machine. Can he get a revive or not?
I mean, we have to see. Only time is going to tell, because Gremlin Storm again find themselves in a whole world of trouble. Those 4 chicken dinners back to back have made themselves an easy target for all the other teams. They are not shying away from a fight. And, well, they need to get that revive onto his Machine somehow or the other, because Robo6, he's got a perfect angle. Now, Badrev needs to do something, needs to make something happen. He's cooking up a grenade. He's got that sound. He knows that there's someone lurking around him. But for how long? As Machine is still crawling, he's still struggling for someone to come in and give that revive on. Now, for what Gremlin Storm can really do from over here is just isolate Robo6 and go after them. Kapshi, he's already pretty much low. Crayon Sand, Lord, and Virus, they're being very alert. They're being very alarmed. They know that they're not giving away Machine. There's no chance on earth that anyone is going to come in for the revival. But Gremlin Storm, they need to hold on. They need to survive. The last game was a blunder for them. They got an early elimination. Those barrage of grenades coming in and wiping them out. Now, Gremlin Storm also understands the gravity of the situation. They know that this is not their fight to take anymore, as they're finally backing off.
Yeah, they are finally backing off, but Kapsi, he is not stopping. He just wants to take revenge. He knocked out one player. He knocked one player and wants to confirm that kill. And the whole team, the whole team basically, they're just backing off right now. And that is a good I think so that's a good decision, because you're already down to 3 members. Yeah, you got 1 knock, but don't take any risk, because this is, we only just hit the 13 minutes mark. The second zone is just closing in, and GR Electrify Virus OP, this man can do wonders, and he is holding that M762, and we know that this is one of the best gun on the map of Sanhok.
Yes, this absolutely is. Lord, however, moving on towards his fallen teammate. Will he get in time though? That's the bigger question. Yes, he does. Yep. Reviving him right in the open. This might spell a bit of a trouble, but I believe he's got no difficulties in doing that. But Robo6, look at him. He's poor right now. Hasn't got a single first aid. Gets a borrow from his teammate. Of course, he would love that. Now, IPGX. Well, they have a team just nearby them, but where is the circle heading to? This is going to be the decider. Yes, It goes towards Painan. And I must say, Shivansh, you being there, you are a golden charm for this team. And I wouldn't be surprised if they get a back-to-back chicken in this one as well.
Yeah, because look at the position of KS Axe. They're in the center of the zone. The zone is also favoring them. And what they have to do is just hold that position, just wait for the teams, just luring towards you and get some free knocks and convert that knocks into free kills. But still, the fight going on between 2 teams, I Am Stranger and IPG, still in the ruins area. They have to come inside the safe zone. Yep, yet they're still wondering what to do, because they know that there's one team nearby them, but they have to do something so early. But look at Team Cyko, 1 player, the last player, Hitman, was surviving. He just got knocked out. He just got eliminated. The whole team got eliminated on the 13th position.
Yes, that did happen. Now, well, all these teams, they have to rotate in. Gremlin Storm finally getting some sigh of relief as they find themselves a compound. But they need to survive. They need to even get a lot of kills, because with the way A1 Esports has started this game with already 6 kills in their belt and all 4 of their players alive, and also with the players of TRZ Esports wiping out XOSS officials over there. And well, they need some kills, but how are they going to do that? That's the bigger question. In fact, Sanhok gets a knock for himself, sitting at Painan, having the best position. This is their game to lose. They cannot really afford to do that. And I love the way KSX have got themselves back in this particular tournament. Now, well, Stranger spotted out first. Peppers down a few bullets. Does dish quite some damage onto him. But with his 3 times, he's not able to spot out the players. But Heaven, instead, will get a knock onto its Squeezer. The smoke coming in. Will get a revive onto him though. But where do they go from here? IPGX, they also have to rotate. Stranger always being alert on his toes. But they're kind of oblivious about the fact that the backlines are completely exposed. Now Stranger realizing this fact and will find himself a cover of compound. Now that's good news.
Yep, that's a really good news. And collecting some 5.56 ammo, that's gonna help him a lot. And IPG Curse applying some bandages, and this is really a good decision. Do not waste your medkit, because it can help you in the final stages of the match. And Curse just use that smoke grenade to help himself just start down in that buggy. But careless, he is just being careless and trying to spray him down, but could not even do that. Not a single shot got connected. Dished out a little bit damage, and right now he's just backing off and just moving inside the safe zone. I think so just decided that we just have to come find a compound, stay inside the compound, and then start taking some fights. But one thing, what if you find an AWP in a Sanhok map? What are you gonna do with that? You gonna pick it up or not?
Well, I mean, depends. It's completely to the player's choice, you know, whatever they love. But, well,
I'm not that lucky.
Guess the stars are not shining anymore for Phoenix over here, as the circle has taken a huge curveball right down south, where EXENTRIC Infinity find themselves in a very promising position, perhaps. And now Gremlin Storm, they have to rotate in. Where are they going to go from? Is it going to be from the bridge, or is it going to be from the compounds of Painan? Because KSX, they've already made their move. Now going on the higher ground, what they will really intend to do is gatekeep all these teams. TRZ also taking a huge way in. But I love what A1 Esports are doing. They are rotating completely from the edges. But look at Venom Legends. They've got a huge high ground advantage for themselves. And along with that, none of the teams are behind them.
Not a single team are just behind them, and that's a good sign for them. They can convert this opportunity into a winner chicken dinner. Meanwhile, KSX just running onto the open, just taking a cover of the rocks, and they are still trying to find some opponents, still collecting some information that where are the opponents. And Sanhok, he is being scout right now and giving all the info to his teammate that right now this area is clear, you can come here, you can camp here and just prone down. Meanwhile, Sharrier coming into action, knocked down IPG Curse, and he killed him instantly, because 1 kill point is very important for you. And okay, all the fights, every single team are just engaging in some fights. In case Sanhok, he just revealed his position, taken some damage, and this gonna cost him a lot.
This certainly is going to cost him a lot, but now Careless taking down Mahfouz. Well, Gremlin Storm, they have to be really careful, because TRZ are right on their tails. The shots coming out. Evil Eye being taken down by Anaconda, as he is going to swallow him up, as Bad Rev is the last member surviving. How long is he going to survive? The IPGX, they have already bitten the dust as they take an elimination from the lobby. But Bad Rev, he's got the buggy for himself. Anaconda spraying down, but he's getting shot from elsewhere. White card in a whole wall world of trouble. But no, he's kind of avoided that fight. But Bandrep, he has to go inside. He has to build himself a good position. But no, he gets knocked down this time by SR from Kapshi. In fact, on the back lines, he is trying to do something, but nothing really is working out for Gremlin Storm as they are falling one by one, and the cookie is definitely crumbling for this team. But if they look at him, I love what KSX are doing. They're doing their gating at a very, very good position at a very good time. Now this might be spelling a lot of trouble for the teams like TRZ and IM that are making them move inside the circle.
Yep, and right now KS, if he wants to confirm that kill, but he's spotted on one more player. Can he let him down to his knees? Okay, so the players from GSM, they are just Gremlin Storm, they are just running, just taking cover of that rocks, and they are right now they're in the safe zone. But for how much time? KSX, the zone just move away from them. They have to do something. They have to do something. Otherwise, they're going to be in a big trouble. TRZ Anaconda knocked down one player. I am careless, but meanwhile, in the retaliation fire, he also got eliminated.
Yeah, he certainly did, and it was IM that were the cause of their elimination. But now they are also having their own troubles because they've got KSX right in front of them. They have to come inside. They have to close in on the circle as he's just speaking out. FT, can he spot one out? He does spot Stranger, but he did lose his window of opportunity. That was a sliver of a chance where he could have landed those shots. But now KSX, they also have to get inside the circle. And with Magnet going all guns blazing, taking those knocks coming out. FT finding his perfect angle, taking down Groot. Can he get the second and third pick though? But instantly goes in for the confirmation as KSX have amassed themselves 5 kills already. Squeezer might be the 6th one to be falling down. Yes, he does. Now the 5th circle closing in. There's no chance on earth that he might get a revival from his teammates. Now FT also has to go inside the circle. But who is waiting for them? That we will have to see.
That we will have to see. And meanwhile, KSX, they are looking quite confident. They already confirmed 7 kills from themselves. And Playzone not giving any single chance to any single team. And Crayon Sun trying to dish out some damage right now. He is in the blue zone, taking some damage of the blue zone, as well as, oh my god, he also got taken down by Shewusa, GR Electrify. They got eliminated on the 7th position, and we are down to only 6 team, and 16 players are alive.
Yeah, of course. Now this looks really promising for Venom Legends as they were on the tails. And finally, I believe they will be toppling over Gremlin Storm after this. Gremlin Storm, back-to-back 4 chicken dinners. But that's where the pressure really surmounted on them. And they are having a lot of trouble right now. But EXENTRIC, Infinity, having the best position in the circle. Well, they've seen a lot of enemies elsewhere. Now, Void getting a knock onto its miner. 2 big squads going after each other. But Rafit, he is just pushing in like a fearless man. He has no fear at all. Rafit, right in front of him, is careless proned out. But he's got his eyes onto its Miraz, in fact. As at the moment he starts speaking out, he might just take a lot of damage. He might just get out. But careless, he's not even making a sound. He is not even hissing. And Rafit might just get bitten from the back. Oh my goodness, what is happening? What are we witnessing, Shivansh?
This is really insane. Rafit didn't know that one player just lying beside of him. And oh, Careless finally did something. But meanwhile, Stranger got knocked out outside the safe zone. KS, if they all team of KSX, they are inside the blue zone, applying some first aid kit so that they can move inside the zone. But Immortal X, meanwhile, they take an exit at the 6th position. We are down to 4 teams. Nightwing spotted down 2 players. Meanwhile, A1 Esports also taken an exit at the 5th position. Playzone, oh my god, the Playzone is reckless again. Eliminates one more team. EPSILON Esports taken exit at the 4th team. KSX taken exit at the 3rd position. We are down to only 2 teams now.
Now is the time where Venom Legends are gonna shine, because this is their game to rule. They had been hindered Their chicken dinners were waiting, but finally, when the occasion comes, when the time comes to rise, they sure do. And this chicken dinner might just ensure that they get to the second position, if not the first, but they still have 2 more games to cover up for that. Now, this is a squad that has been ruling throughout the PMCC, and finally, they're finding their way in, but no, that certainly does not seem to happen like that as Void goes down, but Eco on the other lines has been eliminated. We are reduced to a 3v4 situation. Void is getting a revive from his teammates though, but Shuvosa, his entire team, needs to push inside the circle against a team that is already looking at you, has already got your eyes at you. What do you do as the torch also goes down? Void taking down the last player as well, and with that, Venom Legends getting the chicken dinner, and in what fashion, at what time is what is of essence. Now, I have lost my chain of thoughts over here. 12 kills, 27 points coming out just from this one game. Is it enough to put them right on top?
I think so. They got 27 points, 27 total points. They are not that far away from A1 Esports. They're doing literally great. But the main thing you have to focus on, A1 Esports taking exit at the 4th position. They got almost 8 points as well as some kills. And the main thing is, how many kills A1 Esports got?
Yes, that's the bigger question. That's the bigger question. They had gotten 6 kills that we are certain of. But now let's take a look at the MVP of that one player who has really shined out and has to be Void. 5 kills, 505 damage. Well, he's been there for his team. He made sure that every number of damage does count. And 5 kills is a testament to that.
It's a testament to that, but I'm a little bit upset. Why Playzone didn't got the MVP title?
Well, you can't help it. You know, it's the new algorithm where, you know, you get priority to your survival time, where you get priority to your damage.
That's a PJ, by the way.
You know.
Okay, you don't like it. I can see.
Yeah,
I can just
because
read your face.
now is the time. Now is the time where I don't want jokes anymore.
Oh,
because things have really intensified. Things have gotten really intense.
Yes.
Venom Legends. A1 Esports 1952.
KSX.
TRZ.
Okay.
And Gremlin Storm. And of course, KSX, we can't rule them out. But now let's take a look at the top players, the other ones that are going to be joining the fray. And well, Esan, Steel Shot, Nightwing, and Anaconda. They had to be there.
They had to be there because this is the Sanhok, and Sanhok is known for the snakes, and Anaconda got 2 kills, which is really impressive. 2 players from Venom Legends and 1 player from KSX. So they've been doing great, and KSX got eliminated at the 3rd position with almost 8 to 9 kills. So they got 19 points, and this is gonna help them a lot to climb up on the all-over leaderboard.
Yeah, it's certainly gonna help them a lot, but how much? Because last I remember they were on 168.
Yes.
Now they've gotten themselves 27 points. Really close to A1 Esports. But considering the fact that A1 Esports ended at the 4th position and they had quite some kills, I don't think they might have taken the 1st spot. But I think 2nd spot is definitely up for grabs, considering the fact that Gremlin Storm had yet again a back-to-back bad game. But now let's take a look at the match summary and see how have things turned out for these teams. 59 knocks coming out, 52, of course, the kills being converted, and that's a good conversion ratio. But 16 headshots. I mean, players have been really clinical at it, and look at the usage of smokes and grenades, 49.
Not just hitting that 50.
Just had about not hitting the 50 mark.
Yeah. I just want to say that. But 3 airdrops got looted.
Yeah.
And
we did see 7 airdrops being looted in the last game. I mean, teams are absolutely going bonkers. They are taking those risks because, of course, if you take the risk, you are going to reap higher rewards. And yeah, there is also a possibility that you might just get wiped out. But still, stay above your fear. Rise above it. But now let's take a look at the standings and see how the teams have been performing in this particular game, where we see Venom Legends getting 27 points and KSX not far behind on the 2nd spot with 18. Now A1 Esports have gotten themselves 14 points, and I think with that they will be crossing the 200 mark.
Yep, I think so. They are just going to cross that 200 mark. But look, we can still see TRZ Esports on the 7th position with total 6 points. They're still focusing on the kill department. That's where the first question arrives. That you just you have left only with 2 games. You have to do something, otherwise you'll just have to just stay on top 10.
Yeah, but you know, TRZ playing completely different to their play style. Usually they go for the positioning, but this time around, I'm really impressed seeing them taking all those kills. But this is where things are getting really, really intense, because Gremlin Storm have just managed 2 points out of this one. Just 2.
And this is not looking that good.
Considering we just have 2 games remaining, they need another chicken. They surely do, because if they have to clinch that first position, if they have to get their hands on the 6 lakh Bangladeshi taka, they will have to play the game of their lives in those next 2 games. And considering it's Vikendi, considering it's Erangel, it's going to be really, really tough. But now is the moment where we take a look at the leaderboards and see how things have changed. And there you go, Shivansh. I mean, there was a point when they were at the 2nd spot, now they're on the 4th. And they are dwindling down and having a lot of trouble. But A1 Esports still managing to hold on to its pole position, still being the king of the hills over there. But Venom Legends, well, they did have the first 2 games really not working out for them. But my oh my, look at the comeback that they have made for themselves.
They're just 11 points far behind getting that first position. In A1 Esports, they're doing great. But KSX, they are still on the 5th position, got 157 points. So they just have to play a little bit more aggressive. They need one chicken dinner. But if you're talking about chicken dinner, I know you're just hoping for one team. You just hope that one team, that is Gremlin Storm.
I mean, I'm in for any of them. I just need a good game in the final match. But what I really like is KSX. You know, look at them. They're such a kill-hungry team, having the 3rd highest kills in the lobby. And had they focused on positioning a bit too much in the first few days, they could have been at a better spot. To be honest, at least could have been in top 3 easily. But things are looking really south for M4, SLX and Venom Secret as well. Now I have to get your attention to this team, Venom Secret. Now the way the day started, there was a point, Venom Secret was on the 2nd spot. From there, taking a dip to as low as the 13th spot, well, they've been decent, I must say, on the position department. But in the kills department, I do not know what is happening to this team. They're completely messing up.
Same as for SLX Alpha.
Yeah.
In the 2nd day, they're just showing a promising game. In the 2nd game, they got 2nd position. The 3rd game, they got chicken dinner. But what just happened after that 3rd game?
Now that's gonna hurt them, and of course, nothing to scoff about. This is their first major tournament. They'll of course do better in the future. Yep. But now, well, the winning team is of course gonna get 6 lakh Bangladeshi taka. But what's in store for you guys? You might just have a chance to win and get your hands on the brand new iPhone 12 and of course the 8 Duras gift cards. All you have to do, I have been saying that for like 100 times now, and all you have to do is subscribe to the PUBG Mobile Bangladesh official channel. Then what you have to do is of course like the stream. And then that's the harder part. But I know you guys are well educated. You know you can figure your way out. All you have to do is spam #PUBGMOBILE, #PMCC along with your character ID and your IGN. And randomly, one lucky winner will get his or her hands on the brand new iPhone 12. I mean, I love that blue color. But do you like the red or the blue one?
I'll prefer red.
I mean, he likes the red one, I like the blue one, but don't worry, we're not getting any of it.
Yep.
We hate to cast the games. You are the ones who will be a winner. But right now, what we are going to do is push for a short little break, because coming right up is another beautiful map coming out from Vikendi.
Hello everyone, my name is Oshin Sharma and you are watching PUBG Mobile Campus Championship Bangladesh, the interview session. We have talked to a few teams. We have known their goods, their bads, their uglies and their crazies. And well, now it's time to know the secrets. I'm talking about a team that is known by the name of Venom Secret, and they have a lot of secret strategies hidden between them. I'm pretty sure. So guys, before we just begin off with everything, why don't you guys just start off with an introduction of your own selves?
Myself, Shoaib Khan, and मेरा नाम है इन गेम नेम है वेनोम शोएब और मेरा रोल है सपोर्ट असोल्टर.
Rizwan Islam Ratul. My in-game name is Venom Ratul. I play for Venom Secret. My role is entry fragger.
Hello, my name is MD Ashraful Islam, and my in-game name is Venom SR Sharier, and I am filtering and support assaulter.
Well, I'll ask you the first question. If you want to tell me, like, how was the team formed? What was the basics of Venom Secret and its formation?
Mainly the team was formed in 2019 back in the PMBC 2019. We have to me, Shariar Bhai, and there were two more players who have been played with us in the lineup of Venom Legends. And after the tournament of PMBC 2019, it was broken. We were in a short break, me and Shariar Bhai. Then we came back with a new device and our family support issues were fixed.
Yeah.
Then we made a new lineup, which was Venom 4 Annihilators name. And they are the main players we are, me, Shoaib, and Shariar Bhai. That's who you can see in the screen. And we continued in the lineup of Venom 4 Annihilators, but we struggled to not to have a proper IGL, and we found it right before this tournament, PMCC 2020, where the Cool Boy joined our team just to participate in this tournament, and then we are now a properly balanced team, and you can see we're in the finals now.
Well, yes, you guys are balanced for sure. Now, Shariar, my next question is going to be to you after this one. What are your expectations from the finals, and how has the journey been of quarterfinals and the semi-finals?
কোয়ার্টার ফাইনাল আমরা খুবই মোটামুটি ভালো হিসেবে যায় আমাদের, তারপরে আমরা সেমিতে আমাদের একটু কনফিডেন্স থাকে, কোয়ার্টার ফাইনাল আমরা একটু ভালো করার জন্য, তারপরে সেমিতে আমরা প্রথম 4 ম্যাচ আমাদের খুবই মানে মোটামুটি, বাট এতটা ভালো রেজাল্টও আসে নাই। তারপরে 5th ম্যাচে আমরা ডু অর ডাই মানে এরকম একটা সিচুয়েশনে যাই, তারপরে আমরা জোনের বাইরে গিয়ে আমরা প্রথমে ফাইট নেই, তারপরে আমরা প্রথমে 8 কিল পাই, তারপরে আমরা একটা বুস্ট পাই, যার ফলে আমরা ওই ম্যাচে অনেক একটা ভালো রেজাল্ট আনি। তারপরে আমাদের দেখি যে টেবিলে আমরা থার্ডে চলে আসছি, তারপরে আমরা লাস্ট ম্যাচ আমরা সুন্দরভাবে খেলি, তারপরে আমরা কোয়ালিফাই করি।
Now, moving on to you, Shoaib. I want to ask you one question, like how have you evolved personally after joining this team?
আমি যেহেতু ভেনম এসআরে প্রথম থেকেই ছিলাম, মানে যখন ভেনম 4 অ্যানিহিলেটরস খোলা হয়, তো আমার সব প্লেয়ারের সাথে মোটামুটি একটা সিনার্জি ছিল, তো আমার তখন থেকে একটা ভালো সিনার্জি থাকার কারণে খেলাও ভালো হইতো। তো দেখা যেতেছে যেহেতু সিনার্জি আছে, গেমের মেইন থিং হচ্ছে সিনার্জি, তো আমার পারফরমেন্স মোটামুটি ব্যালেন্স দিতাম সবসময়। অ্যান্ড আমাদের ফিল্টার আইজিএল শারিয়ার ভাই, উনি আমার সবসময় সাপোর্ট করছে, আমি এই জন্যই ভালো পারফরমেন্স দিয়ে গেছি, অ্যান্ড সবাই আলহামদুলিল্লাহ ভালো পারফরমেন্স দিচ্ছে। অ্যান্ড আমার জার্নি ভেনমের সাথে অনেক ভালো।
All right, well, that's good. But now, just moving on with one question, Shariar. My next question is going to be for you only. Which is that one thing that you feel is your team's strong suit, and which is that one thing that you think that your team needs to work on?
আমাদের স্ট্রং পয়েন্ট হচ্ছে আমাদের গান পাওয়ার মোটামুটি সবারই ভালো, যার কারণে আমরা মানে সব টুর্নামেন্ট বা যে কোনো কিছুতে আমরা মানে কিলের দিক থেকে এগিয়ে থাকি। আমাদেরকে একটা জিনিসের উপর কাজ করতে হবে, সেটা হচ্ছে মানে ওই কিল পয়েন্ট নিয়ে কিভাবে আমরা সামনে এগিয়ে যেতে পারি কি।
Well, Ratul, my next question is going to be for you, and the question is going to be, how are you planning? Like, are you going to be changing your strategies, maybe your drop locations, maybe the roles a bit? Like, are you guys planning to change something for the finals?
The roles are not going to be changed, but we have changed the plans from semi-finals, because we played the 4 matches in a plan where we are bit passive just to take position points, but we couldn't take those because we were playing passive and our players are dying. We are losing manpower. So we decided in the 5th match, this is do or die, and we have to go for the aggression.
Is there something that you guys would want to tell to your fans, your family, your friends, your supporters? Anyone?
Those who are supporting us, keep supporting. We played good in the semi-finals, but it's not sure that we are gonna do the same in the finals. It can be better, it can be worse, but don't stop supporting us if we play worse.
That's totally true, and hashtag VenomFTW will be out there in the chats for sure. And thank you very much for giving out your precious time to me for this interview session, and maybe I'll see you guys around.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You are watching the final day of the PUBG Mobile Campus Championship, the Bangladesh edition. And well, Shadow, quite some comebacks happening here. This time around, Venom Legends taking the second spot. Now, with just 2 games remaining, what are you anticipating?
Well, anything can happen because the way top 5 teams are playing, the way they are exchanging spots with each other is keeping everyone on the toes that who is going to be the final top 2 teams.
Actually, now that you've mentioned it, I mean, so much of drama going on around here, and it's all fair drama. It's something that we all love. And with that being said, the game number 5 is finally live for you guys as we head into the frozen tundras of Vikendi. Now, last time I had my pina colada. I need something warm, I need something hot. Of course, I'll be enjoying my hot chocolate as Shadow will be taking you through the flight path.
Well, the flight path is same this time if we talk about. Yesterday also we had a similar flight path going all the way from northern side towards the southern side of Miramar. That time if we witnessed a zone towards the Dobromestro and Muvatra side. So let's see this time where the zone will be taking us. On the other hand, if we talk about XOSS official, they will be heading towards Dobromestro. Last match, Sanhok, they were the first team to get an elimination. That didn't go down well with this team. So this time also they have a friend, not friend, but an enemy in their territory also. So they will have to loot quickly. Not just one team, 2 teams are heading towards Dobromestro along with XOSS official. That makes it 3. And the zone is heading towards Cosmodrome. And Team GSM, Team GLX, who are heading towards Volnovo. They will have to make some quick rotation, quick loot. And in fact, all the teams, in fact, the team EPSILON Esports who are heading towards Bihar, they will also have to make some quick rotations and towards Cosmodrome. Okay. Talk about luck. TRZ, the only team who is heading towards Cosmodrome, and they are right at the center of the zone.
Well, the stars are really shining bright for TRZ. But look at Venom Secret, Cool Boy already being under heavy gunfire, being taken out. Look at Dobromestro, it's surrounded with enemies, it's filled with them as we have directly come into where the action is unfolding in front of us. And GR will electrify. They're making their move in, but look at Ziso. He's gotten his hands onto it, School Boy. He's got his eyes set up, and this fight is happening around the port area. Now he's making a push. He knows that he's got that 1 kill for himself in the bag, and he certainly does not want to miss away from it.
Well, he certainly don't want to mess away with the team. Cyko, they have been trying to step up, but if you talk about Venom Secret, they are struggling. One of their players is already down on their knees. So was trying to take some shots from the G360. Somehow he missed it, and I believe the player of Venom Secret will get an easy revival. But no, he hasn't got a revival yet. And Team Cyko being the smarter one, taking all the flank angles and going in towards the players. But what a perfect grenade comes in from Shoaib. Takes us so down of Team Cyko, and Shoaib takes another player. Champion also down. And Team Cyko, who was looking pretty good this time, now is in a lot of trouble because the rest of the 2 players are on their flank angles and there won't be any chance to save their teammate. On the other hand, Cool Boy is also bleeding out, and Shoaib, can he take 3rd player down? But no, he will be taken down by the player of Team Cyko. But Russell OP will finish the job as he eliminates the 3rd player also of Team Cyko, and Team Cyko is reduced to just 1 man.
What on earth is happening? You know, cars are flying away, but yes, comes in. We've got Hitman, and he does take that knock. He gets it, but Shahryar is late to the party over here. He knows he needs to do something. His teammates are already down, spraying down with his barrel, but nothing much happening as he's got his 19 ammo, and there goes that beautiful jump in the air as Shahryar is also taken down. With that, the dreams of Venom Secret go into vain.
Well, they are gone in vain, and Team Cyko is also not going to be happy because I believe they have lost 2 of their players. But if we talk about this particular area, 3 squads are here. And in the middle, we have the plus of Team GR Electrify. And if you talk about Heaven Whitey, he is in the wrong territory. He's in the wrong compound. He doesn't want to be there because the plus of GR Electrify are rushing in towards him. How is he gonna survive all the three players that are rushing in towards him? On the other hand, if you talk about Creon San, he has got a shotgun in his hand, a DBS in fact in his hand, one shot, and Heaven Whitey will be dead, and he knows the exact location. How can he not hear the footsteps of Creon San? And if he heard, why was he not making any sound?
See, honestly, it does not matter. I do not really care because what Creon San had in his hands was DBS. But, well, DBS does not really protect you from grenades from up above, as I was just praising him. And he goes down, and Cast is Curse finally coming into play. But, well, Virus also falling down. Now, this is going to spell a lot of trouble for GREX as they are holding their grounds. They need to do something. They need to get Virus up online really quick. They need to have that revival coming in. But Alpha, he does not want to waste any more time. He's just pushing in. And Paradox, he's still at this moment. But we also have another squad. That's IPGX. Now, GREX, they find themselves surrounded. But Paradox getting a knock onto it. Cynics does acknowledge the gravity of the situation. Now Cynics, he needs a revival from his teammate and dies just beside Curse. Now this is what he has not expected in the wildest of his dreams, to get caught out right out in the open. But Alpha 49 lobbing a grenade into thin air. Will that connect? Virus has of course healed himself up. The Molotov going out, and Lord, he's burning. Oh my goodness, what is happening, Shadow?
A chaotic situation. Three teams are fighting against each other. Curse will definitely give a revive to Heaven, but Team XOSS is finally making their comeback. And Alpha 49, being the aggressive one, was trying to take down one of the players, but gets himself taken down. And Team XOSS will get the confirmation onto the plus of GR Electrify, and the last solo player remaining from GR Electrify. Can he go in for the revival onto his teammate, Lord? And yes, he's going to go in for the revival, but those grenades coming in from the plus of Team XOSS, can he survive those grenades? Can he go for the revival? I believe he can go in for the revival, but even if he revives his teammate, it's a 2v4 situation. They are outnumbered. Lord need to heal up really fast, and can they clutch it out? Can they confirm this 2v4 situation? On the other hand, IPG players, being the smarter ones, have already disengaged from this particular fight, and both the teams are trying to pop in some grenade. What a perfect grenade comes in from Alpha 49, takes Lord down, and now it's all on Robo6 as he takes one player down. Not one, all players down because of that grenade also that Robo6 was cooking. Rest of the players were taken down by grenade. Last player was taken by that gun. What a beautiful play coming in.
Wow, Robo6, you've won my heart in this one. I don't care who the MVP is gonna be. You certainly are for me, at least in this game. That play. I mean, had it been in a major tournament, it would have been in the highlights reel. And I would love to see a highlight made out of this one. This was so mesmerizing. This was so well thought. This was so well calculated. You know, can you imagine that one good grenade taking down two of their players, and of course the last falling down to the shots coming out of Robo6. I mean, he must be applauding himself. He himself must be surprised at what he has done right now.
He must be surprised, and even the players of opponent team are also surprised at what just happened to them. But definitely GR Electrify impressed everyone. And if you talk about the stats, also on the front of our screen, EPSILON Esports also having a good amount of kills, but lacking on the placement points. EPSILON Esports has not made it up to the first page of the leaderboard. But if we talk about A1 Esports, the team that is leading the charge with 202 points, they don't want to mess up. Every single point is going to matter because they know the bottom of the teams who are at the 2nd, 3rd, 4th and 5th position can easily topple them over one bad game, and A1 Esports can fall down, and they don't want that, especially when they have missed one match. I just want to point out, if they had played that match, they would have gotten a quite good number of lead between Venom Legends and themselves. That could have happened, but still they are leading, and right now they are out in the open area. Vikendi is not the map where you want to be out in the open area for very long, and A1 Esports does realize that they will find themselves a good compound to hold on to. On the other hand, if we talk about TRZ Esports, this team has been very consistent. Last match also, they went in towards the Paris resort and again took down the plus of Team XOSS officials. But later on, they were also taken down after some time at the later stage of the match. But other than that, this team has been pretty consistent and they are still at the 3rd position. They also want to make it to the top 1. So this is a moment when the teams will decide whether to go for the kills or the placement points.
You know, whatever be the case, this has been a dream tournament for TRC. finally coming out, and they've been doing good in their region scrims, but this kind of a performance on this major scale of a tournament, I think we have some bigger things in store for them. And this is a team which has a culmination of both the skills and the ability to, you know, take good position and also rack in some good number of kills. But with that being said, we have the first airdrop coming out, and that's an M249. Now, Shadow, if you were inside the lobby, would you swim all the way so far just to find an M249?
Well, I wouldn't, especially when it's Vikendi, because we know Drop can have any gun and Vikendi going in the water. I don't think I would ever do that, but let's see if any of the player will go in for the M249, because I don't believe M249 is going to be of much use when it comes to Vikendi, especially when you are taking a little mid-range fights. On the other hand, if we talk about mid-range fight, Agent dies because of that vehicle explosion coming in from the players of Team GSM. And GSM up to a good start, but SLX again not up to a very good start.
I mean, well, SLX can be put out of contention for right now. What our major focus is on the top 4 teams. Because we've been seeing that scuffle back and forth. Now, one game goes, teams are changing up and down, up and down, up and down, left and right. A1 Esports still having a good amount of lead for themselves as the games are reducing down. After this, we have the last game. The last game that's going to decide the fate of all these players and the future as well. Because, of course, you know, this is a stepping stone. This is a small step. And you might just leap in for bigger things. You have the huge year coming out where we have $14 million of prize pool for the entire year. Now that's huge because last year we had $2 million for the GC. Imagine $14 million, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a huge
amount. A lot of zeros
money
to count, and on the good side.
Yeah, on the good side, obviously. But look at the way the top teams are playing. Venom Legends, Team GSM also, they are playing edge to edge. They are being very careful. They do realize that every single point is going to matter. They don't want to take any risk. But on the other hand, if we talk about A1 Esports and Team TRZ, TRZ dropped in towards the center of the 4 zone, so they will be pretty comfortable over there. On the other hand, A1 Esports also find themselves at the centrish area of the zone. Let's see how that is going to go down well with them. On the other hand, in close vicinity, there are players of Team Immortal X also. Immortal X last match, they did try to take on few of the squads and managed to eliminate them also. They had a good performance, but they keep it up because Careless again with that beautiful headshot coming in takes one of the player of A1 Esports down. But can he get the confirmation? That is going to be the main question. I don't think he can get the confirmation. There will be a revival coming in anytime soon. And his teammate, if we talk about Crusher, he is a little short on some utilities. Will be going in for that loot on that crate, but Careless also trying to spot another player of Team SLX, and he does manage to take Jignes Khan over there down. And Careless, I have to say, this guy is so perfect with his bolt action shots.
Yes, I mean, just give the man his bolt action and he will do the wonders with it. Does not matter which is it. It does not matter if it's a Car 98, does not matter if it's an M24. He gets the job done. And I do not know where does he go from here, because I believe he's a beautiful player individually. But as a team player, well, certainly not having the kind of a run that he would have expected with Immortals. But I wish him all the luck. And I believe with the performance like this, a lot of big organizations might just approach him. And well, we might have a good future in for this lad. But look at KSX. He's one of the players of Gremlin Storm. In fact, Kapshi, he's just exploded. And he's knocked out right now. The trouble again beginning for the players. Now, losing out on Kapshi is a huge loss. Now, there's no chance on earth that they can come in to give that revive. Machine rather repositioning himself. And again, with this, Kapshi has gone into thin waters. He's wiped out. Gremlin Storm, what do they do? That was a case of death, my friend. That was a case of death.
Well, he was bidding kiss. I would like to say that he was saying Kapshi, but Team GSM, their struggles are still continuing. But Rafat is at the rooftop, and he has definitely spotted down Heaven Whitey of IPG, and he does manage to connect a beautiful grenade onto him. Heaven Whitey has been reduced to like 40% HP, and Rafat again popping in those grenades. But this time, Heaven Whitey being the smarter one, dodged that grenade, but this time, can he survive the bullet of the gun? No, he won't survive because Cursed has been taken down. Heaven White is still surviving, but Rapath has his eyes set on Heaven White. He's a solo player. It's a 1v3 situation and he needs to run for his life and is exactly doing that. But it's an open area. How far can he run away? And no, he's not gonna run away. He's hiding beside that wall area, but the players do realize that. And with that, Heaven Mighty has also been taken down. You can't survive for very long when you are in the open area in Vikendi. And with that, IPG gets an early elimination. But if we talk about TRZ, they are looking very confident and again at a very good spot in Cosmodrome area. They will have the best loot that is possible because Cosmodrome offers a good loot. They are at a perfect position also until the zone takes in hard shift. They will be pretty comfortable. But the team that is entering into their territory is going to the plus of Team GSM, who have already lost one of their players. And let's see if they are aware of the fact that Cosmodrome has already been holded by a team or not. Because if they are not aware, if they are careless, if they make any mistake, TRZ won't spare them.
Yeah, they certainly won't. And TRZ and Gremlin Storm is a fight I would love to see in the final circles. But if it happens now, someone is going home disappointed, because if they lose out on this particular fight and they just break and the hell breaks loose for either of these teams, that's going to be so much pressure for the final game, and that is something that these two teams cannot afford right now. But I really love the position of the players of TRZ. They're well split out. They've got their angles covered. It's going to be really tough push for Bad Rev. And considering the fact that they're already a man down, I do not think it's a good idea for them to make the push. No, make it 2 men down. Machine and Bad Rev, just the 2 players surviving. Now, if TRZ are aware of the fact that it's Gremlin Storm right in front of them, they would not shy away from making a push.
That was exactly what was going on in my mind, because right now they do know that there is an enemy, but they don't know which team it is. And TRZ, to step up, they have to make sure the teams who are above them, they step down on. For that, they have to eliminate them. And the minute they realize that it's GSM, they will be making their push. They will be careful, no doubt, but they will try their level best to eliminate the squads who are above them. But on the other hand, if you talk about rest of the teams, everybody is playing a little safe. They are holding on to the edges. In fact, the players of GR Electricity, also Venom Legends especially, one of the strongest team. They know they had few bad games today, and this time when only 2 matches are left, they can't afford to take any risk, especially when they have gotten themselves a victory in the last match. So they are playing it passively. They are holding on to the edge. There is no enemy in the close vicinity. They are holding on to the coal mine area. On the other hand, if we talk about EPSILON Esports, they are in a split. Being in split in Vikendi is not going to be in your favor, but I believe they are going to be reuniting with each other at the bottom, at the southern side of the zone. If you talk about, we have quite a traffic. Teams are pretty adjacent to each other, and among them is one of the team which is trying to do a comeback. That is going to the plus of KSX.
Yeah, KSX. This has been a team. Well, I had initial, second thoughts about this team when they came into the finals and were having a whole world of trouble with finding their way in. And finally, they are in sync. They're looking really good. Of course, they have picked themselves up. They're in the 5th position, looking really promising. But if they get a chicken in this one, you never know. They might just end in the top 4. But the woes of Gremlin Storm still continuing. But I really like what they've done. They've taken the center. They're playing it safe. They do not want to make those rotations anymore. They do not want to be like going in those final moments, because anything can happen over there. But now they will just be holding on, and everything just comes down to Bad Rev and Machine. But elsewhere, if we talk about the other teams in contention for the title, Venom Legends with all their 4 players alive, A1 Esports 1952 with all their 4 players alive. Now they're looking really good. They're looking really sharp. But as the circle closes in, where does it go? Does it stay in Cosmodrome, or do we see a curveball coming up in front of our screen, which will happen any time just about now? And well, still sticking to Cosmodrome. Now Venom Legends have to make their move in. They've got a few compounds in contention over there that they can capitalize on. And I love the setup, The team that's leading is on the eastern side. The team that's trailing just behind them is on the western side. And the 2 teams between are in the center.
So basically, top 4 teams have all the positions covered.
Yes, yes. I mean, the southern side, of course, is towards EXENTRIC, but we can just rule them out at this point. But Sanhok's getting that knock on towards Godzilla, opening fights up, and would love to get those kill points coming in for themselves.
Well, they definitely need those kill points, but Team KSX also need those kill points. And right now, if T is shooting in the direction of Godzilla and easily manages to eliminate him, and Team SLX Alpha again failing to perform, has an early elimination at 12th position with just 0 points to their name. Team KS is going to be pretty happy. They are up to a good start with 4 kill points already in their hands and without any casualty that also. So let's see how the journey of Team KSX is going to happen, because they want to be at the top. They are trying the way they are performing, relying on the kill points and the position points both, so we might see KSX topple over any of the team also. Right now they are playing safe, they are holding on to their position, moving zone by zone. Team that is in close vicinity is going to players of EXENTRIC Infinity. Let's see if they take up a fight against them, but I don't think they are being so careful. Look, they are sending one of their players to scout, just check on the compounds, and then the rest of the players are making their rotations. That's a smart move coming in from the players of KS.
Yeah, that certainly is. Now, they've amassed themselves 4 kills. They're looking really promising. They are hungry for more. They're not stopping over here, because I feel this team has finally opened up. This team is playing so freely. They're not scared of taking the fights anymore. They are committing for pushes. They're looking really good. Had they done the same thing in the first day as well, I'm pretty sure they would be competing for the title with the way they are playing. They've been so beautiful in those second and third days to come. And, well, Lord and Robo6, I mean, they wouldn't mind themselves a cold water swim. I just hope they do not die of hypothermia. Oh, well, they're out. And with those wet clothes, they have to get inside the circle. And now, they've got a good angle for themselves. Like, they do not really have to worry about teams anymore coming in from the backlines. But still, the circle being favored to its Cosmodrome. And now, taking an eastern shift. Oh my goodness, A1 Esports 1952. I mean, I think they should already write the championship title right on that name, because this, my friend, is their game to lose.
The game to win, definitely. But if we talk about Venom Legends, also they are also being the smarter one, and they are also taking the northern side of the rotation, which is a clear path for them to enter inside the zone, and they can even put pressure on the players of A1 Esports. In fact, all the teams which are at the middle of the zone or the southern side of the zone. But Venom Legends somehow decided to move from Cosmodrome.
You know, what I really like is the rotation coming out from Team IM. They figured their way out, but KSX, well, they might just get caught as a sandwich, because, well, we have the players of A1 Esports already, and now from the backlines, EXENTRIC is providing so much pressure. Miraz, however, getting that beautiful knock onto its Thunder, opening things up. Now instantly takes cover after that, because he was anticipating some kind of a cover fire. That did come, though, but it was a bit late. Now, considering the fact that KSX have to get themselves inside the circle, with the fact that now Team EXENTRIC is also backing off, now is the time where they need to make the movement going in for themselves.
Well, this is the time they have to move in. They are quite far away from the zone. EXENTRIC Infinity having 2 kill points to their name. Okay, let's see how many more kill points they can get. But while rotation, they have to be careful, because they might face off the pros of Team KS, because they are also going in for the parallel rotation. But Eco and if we talk about, in fact, all the players are having different vehicles which are required. When it comes to Vikendi, there is so much open area. You need those vehicles for the cover, and that is exactly all the team seems to be doing. But Rafat is already spotted the players of Team TRZ. He does realize in Cosmodrome there is a team, and he needs to be really careful, but he's deploying some smokes, and he knows instead of entering into the Cosmodrome, he can easily make the rotation from the outside of it, and I believe he'll be doing that. On the other hand, Eco has also spotted down the players of Team Immortal X, and look at the HP the players are surviving. Eco somehow failed to get a knock onto the player, but let's see if this time can he get the knock. He's definitely revealed his position, but look at Thunder. Thunder is unspotted. He has not been spotted. No, he has been spotted. I have to take my words back, and he has been taken down with that perfect grenade coming in from Stranger.
Yeah, of course, and there's no chance on earth that he's getting that revive, but Diptoj, he wants to carry on without him. And look at Gremlin Storm, they've held their ground so well, but Badrev, he's bleeding. Now Nightwing, he's gonna go down. Yes, he does. Now Steel Shot has to escape along with Void, and so do the players of Gremlin Storm. Badrev and Machine being on so low HP, they're scared. They're trembling with fear. They have to get inside the circle. With still 1 minute on the clocks, they can make that move happen, but they have to ensure that they reach before the players of Venom Legends do. And they did hear the sound that they have left this area, but they also have to be very, very careful of the players of TRZ, who exactly know where Gremlin Storm is now since they've made a lot of noise. Now Steel Shot, he is holding the flank over here. The moment Gremlin Storm make a move in, they might just take them down. But Stranger getting that Grenadier title. But we have the players of KSX. They're fighting it out. They know they've got fights left, right and center, but they're not shying away from either.
Well, they are definitely not shying away, and Steel Shot has definitely spotted them down. But right now, Sanhok has his eyes set on some other team and is trying to take them down. But his teammate, San, has been picked off. On the other hand, the players of Team Cyko have already been picked off. So there are so many revivals that need to be coming in. But TRZ, one of the players is down by Sanhok, but Sanhok also get counter-traded off. On the other hand, Team EPSILON Esports is creating problems for the players of Team Cyko. Sanhok, he won't be getting any revival. But if we talk about the players Anaconda of Team TRZ, he will be getting that revival. But what just happened? You don't drive like that. And A1 Esports blew the vehicle of the players of Team TRZ, and two of the players are already down. They have been eliminated, and TRZ just in a matter of few seconds has been reduced to two-man squad. On the other hand, Grootser finds a knock onto the players of Team Eccentric Infinity. That I believe was the last player, and Eccentric Infinity gets elimination.
Yeah, they certainly do get eliminated, but Careless still yielding that big wooden gun. Car 98 with an 8-time scope. You cannot ask for more than this. But Venom Legends, they're still keeping the kills ticking for them as they get yet another kill. 4 kills coming out for them already. But Gremlin Storm just having those 2 kills. They need more than this. And Badrev does get that knock onto which Mr. Rare will get the confirmation instantly, make it 3 points for them. But where do they go from here? They need more than this, of course. And well, Steel Shot pushing in slowly but surely has been spotted down by the players this time from the A1 Esports. Now these are your reigning leaders of the leaderboard, with the fact that Venom Legends, that they have to move up north, and this might be really troublesome because Void already being hammered by a lot of bullets coming out, and he won't be able to heal as Venom Legends take a early exit, this time on the 9th spot.
Well, they have taken an early exit, but the top teams, GS Sem, A1 Esports, are still surviving. So Venom Legends are in a bit of trouble, but GS Sem, they are also in a lot of trouble because look at that. Machine has been taken down by Playzone, and his teammate Badrev is also in a bit of trouble, but somehow Badrev will be able to go for the revival onto Machine. But can they survive the grenades, the molotovs that are coming in from the players of Team EPSILON Esports, because their location has been compromised? Revivals will be coming in because Badrev need his teammate. He can't come into top 2 or may win that tournament, win this match as a solo player. He needs his teammate, but EPSILON Esports also does realize that they have to give priority to the zone. This is the moment when they have to enter inside the zone, and they have decided to that, but they have to be careful of the teams that might be waiting for them.
Yeah, certainly they have to be careful. But, well, Gremlin Storm, they are somehow surviving by the whiskers. How are they still living? Now, don't tell me that they are going to take this burning Dacia. This is the car of death. Now, one bad hit and this might just explode. And, well, they find themselves surrounded by the players of TRZ, and that's the only lonesome survivor, which is Anaconda. Now, he would want to engulf Badrev, but Badrev, I just hope it's a low-toss grenade as Anaconda lobs his one, and well, that does not connect, and Anaconda getting a chip damage out from this one. Now this has done a lot of damage with Gremlin Storm making the push finally, and Badrev confirming the call. He's gone God mode, he's gone Super Saiyan with the way he's playing. Well, Gremlin Storm, we have to give it to them, 2-player shot, but their hopes are still alive as they've made it to the top 5.
Well, how they have made it to top 5, that is a surprise for me. But on the other hand, if we talk about Spidey, he is being the grenadier, but now Spidey is in a bit of trouble because he has been spotted on by Careless, and can Careless finish him off? And yes, because of that vehicle explosion, Spidey has been finished off, and M4 Esports also has been eliminated, and GR Electricity is also eliminated. Now we are reduced to just 4 teams. M4 Esports also bids us goodbye with 3 kills at 5th position. EPSILON Esports this time has made it to top 4. A1 Esports is still there, but GSM, they have been reduced to just 1 man because Machine has been taken down by Playzor. It's just Badrave, and look at him, he is being the snake, and Obi doesn't realize that there is a player, but will Badrave make his move or not? That is going to be the question. But on the other hand,